the United States is a communication to the children to take a trip, to cop out, to groove. The psychedelic jackets on the record albums have their own hidden symbols and messages, as well as all the lyrics of all the pop rock songs. And they all sing the same refrain. It's
This is a special request.
Oh my God!
It's Tanner. Blame Tanner. You know we're about to go live.
Tanner.
Sorry, guys.
That was a great starting gag. That was better than the one we were going to do. I'll go with that.
Some call it sensimedia, some call it lamb's bread, and some people call it
Welcome to another edition of the Adam Dunn Show. I am your host, Adam Dunn.
And I'm your co-host, Mitch Shinasa.
And we're late. As usual.
We're late on being late.
We're perfecting lateness.
The kid was on time.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, in his own house. The kid made it to his own house on time this morning.
You know you're late when Adam tells you you're late.
Hey, when I'm concerned about your lateness, you are in big trouble, Mike. You are doing really bad. Cool show today?
Cool show today because
it's very flavorful.
Flavorful. Kid, do you like strawberry strains?
Terpy.
Yeah.
You like Nesquik?
Yeah.
I knew you did.
Wait.
What? You got
Nesquik.
Nesquik, run. You got some?
I do.
Is it strawberry flavored?
No, it's chocolate.
Ah, well, that's what I'm
we're not
talking
doing
about.
chocolate strains.
We're not doing. It's not the chocolate episode, my friend.
That doesn't matter. I have Nesquik.
All right.
I do like Nesquik.
I'm glad you have your Nesquik.
I like it.
Have you tried to press any Nesquik in your
No.
rosin press into
I've
Nesquik
heard that.
rosin
I've heard you
coffee?
can actually make strawberry and chocolate flavored rosin.
Strawberry rosin.
Yeah,
I
just
mean,
mix a little Nesquik into.
that's the same
I
as
had
those
a-
people blasting strawberries in their columns, right?
Sure. I had a kid tell me this was like in New Jersey years ago, and he was like, "Oh, they make that strawberry flavored weed. They put strawberry Nesquik in the water."
Oh, bullshit.
I don't know. You think it's bullshit? What does your guess say?
Bullshit. Yes. Actually, the thing is, it won't work through the roots. But if you cut the plant and do
You
it like
could
a flower,
inject it, right?
and just put it in the vase, then it soaks.
It'll
it up.
take it up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it'll get but you got to use stuff like use stuff like vanilla because it's so strong.
Well,
and it
you
goes
cut
through.
the branch and you just
you
stick
put
it
a little
in.
vanilla in the water, and then you test it, and you'll notice it. It's in there. So certain things do transfer, but it's like you can't do it through the roots.
It's not because there's a lot of other stuff going on between the roots and the flower.
Yeah, but once you cut it, it's just like a fucking straw. It
Yeah,
sucks it right up, What?
I'm pretty sure that my Instagram just got closed down.
Wow, dude, too much
The
porn.
big news.
No, but for
The
real,
kid's
though.
Instagram.
Not
Instagram
mine, though.
spins.
Not mine. Extracted's Instagram.
Extracted is gone.
I wonder if Adam Dunn Show's Instagram is still up. Now, everyone check your Instagram.
Everybody
and
check
make
your
sure they're
Instagram.
good.
Make sure it's not.
It
You're not
literally
part of
just
the
kicked me
conspiracy.
off.
Conspiracy.
And said that the person may have changed the password, and now I can't get back
Oh,
on.
man, your
Oh,
Instagram
no,
got
there
hacked.
we go. There we go.
Oh, he's back.
Okay,
logged out.
false alarm, guys.
False alarm. Everybody-
Everything's okay. The
It's
kid.
not working.
Oh, my goodness. The kid can't get on
Chris,
Instagram.
we need a meme. Quick.
I believe that this is going to result in the end of weed because, as we all know,
The extracted Instagram account pretty much is what.
well, Instagram in general,
It's
there
holding-
would be no cannabis without
Yeah.
Instagram.
Yeah.
So,
That's
I don't
right.
really know.
I heard that they're going to start
Let's just
cracking
cancel
down.
the show. Let's just cancel the show.
Show's canceled, guys.
But no,
Sorry.
I mean seriously, with
Oh my
DNA
God.
just got shut down. That's big news, though. They're taking out
news,
big people.
news.
All right, you guys can laugh all you want. That's big fucking things.
we
though.
don't care about Instagram, by the
Yeah,
way.
that's
It's
pretty
not-
much what it comes
but
down
it's
to.
marketing, and they
I
literally are
know.
targeting people with 1 point some million followers, and then knocking them off just because.
Of course.
That's ridiculous. Bullshit.
Well, Danny
The-
Danko got knocked off.
Yeah,
Our
that's so
boy.
it's lame.
And now
Fuck
he's
that
back.
shit.
See, so it makes you stronger.
I have it.
You fight back. You fight back to the Instagram.
So
warrior.
they were going to kick him off, and they're like, he only has like 200 followers.
Why would
Fuck
we
it.
kick him off?
no, I haven't won that, but I was watching.
Can we do the show?
I was watching Sunny this
Showtime. Hey,
week,
hey.
Fuck it.
No,
and I
news-
came up with a new nickname for you guys.
Who?
It was off of Sunny.
What?
The gruesome twosome.
Gruesome
Gruesome twosome.
Thanks. Yeah, well, that's our new look.
You're the gruesome
Awesome.
twosome.
We work very well together, okay?
Gruesome twosome.
Gruesome twosome!
You're the gruesome twosome.
It's great.
Gruesome
You know?
twosome.
Yeah.
good.
Don't worry. We have plenty of nicknames for you.
So back to strawberry herb.
Oh yeah, we talked about. We didn't even say the word strawberry yet. Did
No.
we?
So-
strawberry.
Pretty much
herb
backtracked when you asked
forever.
about the Nesquik.
Yes. Strawberry.
So okay,
herb. Get
the
strawberry
first
fields.
story.
Bring it up.
What's the
Strawberry
first
fields?
story you heard of? Strawberry cough was the first strawberry strain you saw. I think. I assume,
Pretty
yeah?
much, yeah. With the bam with the strawberry name attached to it. Yes.
And just like, oh, that shit smells like strawberries.
yeah,
Oh,
where you actually searched for that, like, hey, what is that? It really does.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, no, for sure. And same with like the banana kush has the real. It's like weird.
Smells
because
like a banana.
you're like, holy shit, that smells like a banana. It does smell like a banana.
So-
but then it got really big in New York. I mean, it was huge strain East Coast.
I mean, it was one that and the sour is pretty much all New Yorkers want to smoke,
Right.
And haze, but
Not everybody though. Haze is one of those things you have to be. Then you have
It's definitely-
that separates. I think the kids from the adults. You know what I mean? When it comes to
It's
weed,
true,
because if you're
definitely.
like young and just been smoking a couple years, you're like, this don't taste like Kush, man. It sucks. It's me. You know what I mean? And if you're and like a lot of these, old guys, oh my god, it can taste like Colombian or something in there. You know, they have the ability to
palate.
kind of exactly to go back to it.
So, strawberry strains. My first one, of course, strawberry cough. And then the story I'd heard, and I actually was texting with Texas Kid to try to get to call him and tell it because it turns out that he was the dude who originally posted on the forums mad long ago.
Right.
Was that it was some strand from Vermont
Mm-hmm.
called Strawberry Fields.
Right.
That they were growing in a field of strawberries. Now, there's different variants. The Texas Kid version just says they were growing it there, kind of like undercover. Yeah. There's another version that says that growing it there caused the herb to start tasting like strawberries, which that one I don't believe at fucking all.
Right.
But you talked to a guy, I think last night, who maybe knows the real story. Is this what you were led to believe?
Sort of, yeah. I think he said he's not directly the guy.
He's not the guy, right? But he
He's-
knows the real story.
Exactly. He knows the family, and he's been told that he's allowed to tell the story to a point. There obviously there's certain things that can't be told because it's too. Everyone will start in. Wait a minute, there's only one of those guys in that whole area.
Gotcha.
So there's some details that'll be left out, obviously, but for the most part, I think he's been given sort of carte blanche to tell the story. And then we got our friend who became famous from this strain.
Yeah, no one's name's attached to a strawberry strain except Kyle Cushman.
Yeah, and I
Right.
mean, because the cough.
And I smoked the cough before it was Kyle Cushman. It was the
Yeah.
same cut. That
Sure,
was
and it-
confusing for a while.
And it wasn't that he developed it or anything like that. It's just that he kind of he championed it. You know what I mean? And that's a lot of times in these industry, it's not technically the creator, but it's the guy who's actually managed to hang on to it. Because I've seen so many times where there's a group of people, and there'll be one kid who just somehow he's managed to hang on to it, and everybody else just screws up.
Like with Sour Diesel?
and they go back to him, and they go back to that kid, and at a certain point, that kid just becomes that name. You know what I mean? And that's kind of like where a lot of these strains sort of end up, where people are like, and I think at a certain point, you do feel like you've helped this thing, because it's like it's one step away from loss at all times. You know what I mean?
You've kept it around.
You leave your cloner off, you lost it. You know what I mean? If you just like, oh, it's okay, I'll take a few cuts and I'll throw them in my cloner and I'll forget to turn it on, and there you go, strain down the drain. Literally
Down the strain drain.
down the strain. Man.
That's strain spelled with a D. Strain.
Strain. Yeah, exactly. Anyway, but it has happened to many, 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 many strains over the years. But yeah, Kyle Cushman championed that plant, and he was working for High Times too at the time, so I'm sure that helped
Get it out
get
there.
it out there to the right people. But we'll have him on later on the show to kind of piece this whole puzzle together.
So I'm going to go back, and this is something I used to love doing on the show. I'm going to actually read some of the old posts, like what a lot of us have read before, so everyone's working on the same page. So this one from strainspot.com, a not particularly noted reliable source on strain
I was going to say,
information.
not my first choice.
Strawberry cough was originally grown on a strawberry farm in Vermont, and it is a sure bet the farmer that grew it had no idea how popular this marijuana strain would become. So this one's saying strawberry farm in Vermont. That's basically that story. On Seed Finder, they have the Texas Kid story that Strawberry Fields is a 100% indica strain that originated in Vermont around 7 weeks flowering time. Bred for the taste and smell of strawberries and to be able to finish before the first snowfall in Vermont. High yielder, from what he understands. The strain was given its name because the breeder grew it for many years in with his strawberry plants, and he claimed that the original scent of strawberries was intensified because of the way he grew the plants together. Nevertheless, if his theories were correct or not, the worked plants in his field had developed a scent and smell that matched his freshest strawberries to a T. But the high was not ideal for his preference, needed to be more cerebral. He took an outstanding pure haze male and crossed it with his best female flowering in his fields. These are essentially the strawberry cough seeds, but not the clone that's going around. The strawberry cough phenoclone was found in sorting through dozens of these seeds that were given to Kyle Cushman. So that's the Texas Kid story that I think I had heard. Mm-hmm. But so now the guy that we're going to have calling in first here, he knows this, allegedly, the family in Vermont. Now, does his part of the story jive with this?
I don't know. He was saying Canada, though, too. So
interesting. So that is interesting.
So, and the other thing, too, is we were chatting about stuff, and one of the things that, popped up was all, M39 again, the class, the one strain. And I was like, well, that I think pretty much is the Beasters. I think Beasters was almost always predominantly that M39 plant from SSSC because it was such a beast of a plant.
What's the cross on the M39?
I don't know. Check it out.
I will look that up.
And because that
Kid, do you know?
Nope. I'm looking into this news that you just told me about.
I think you have to put cannabis in there, probably.
Yeah. A lot of things called M39. High Times listed as one
Canadians,
of the top 10 Canadian strains of all time. So he was connecting the strawberry with the M39, or he was
no, he's just saying that there was one of the things that the family was still doing. But again, I only talked to him very shortly, and I didn't even want to know the story. I wanted to hear it live with everybody else because I'm kind of like
M39, released in bean form years ago by one of the oldest seed banks in Holland, now long defunct. The M39 was touted as a production plant extraordinaire from the very beginning. Heavyweight indica dominant genetics and a true ease of growth made this hardy strain a staple for Canadian growers from Quebec to Ontario and beyond. It probably is.
I'm pretty sure that was like it's kind of like their flow. You know what I mean? How flow is such a consistent.
Oh, yeah, it says it right here. But beware of imitations. The buds known as Beasters are often poorly grown out M39. Or even pretenders mislabeled as M39.
So there you go.
There you go. From Danko himself.
Without even knowing it, there you go. And that was all assumptions made. So, kid.
What's up?
You getting your Instagram account figured out or what?
No, it's done. I was just reading into that news.
Did you find out why I did it yet? As you asked me 2 minutes ago.
You can't find it. They don't even say that they caught whoever did it.
Yeah, because they didn't catch him yet. It's an active shooter.
It's fucking crazy, though.
Yeah, and that's why we don't know why whoever did it.
They said that there was 3 people in ski masks.
I said 3 people in military gear. Yeah, we don't talk about that stuff on our show because we're a happy show.
We're happy over here. We don't necessarily care. Well, we do care, but we don't necessarily want to talk about it.
That sucks, so.
Do you have news?
News. No phone calls. Phone calls.
Hey, news.
Fortune magazine.
Bad news.
We've heard this threat before.
Yeah.
A weed breathalyzer could be on the way. An Oakland company, there's a new company, we never talked about an Oakland company, working with scientists from the University of California at Berkeley, is claiming a breakthrough in the race to develop an instant roadside marijuana breathalyzer. I got to pause there and say, what up, Berkeley? I thought we were cool with you people. Berkeley, California's kind of like...
No, they're all like...
It was sort of a counterculture hub.
It was.
It sold us
I think
out.
everybody's been pushed out of that place, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hound Labs Incorporated, whose device is also uniquely designed to double up as an alcohol breathalyzer, is among a handful of companies and researchers hoping to capitalize on increasingly relaxed marijuana laws in the United States. Hound Labs said on Wednesday it had found an accurate way to measure THC, the psychoactive component in cannabis, within 1 or 2 blows. I don't even know how that would work. The portable device is designed to help determine if the driver is impaired from recent marijuana use. Well, they definitely can't prove that. So, the idea is to replace a complicated assortment of costly blood and urine tests that can take days to get a result and cannot distinguish between recent and chronic use. This thing doesn't really explain how they're... While Hound Labs' device is designed to accurately measure THC levels from smoked pot, it cannot provide evidence of impairment by itself. Our ability to measure THC in breath really should shift the natural dialogue from one about simply detecting if THC is in someone's body to a conversation where standards can be developed that reflect actual impairment. So, they're kind of saying...
the thing is...
we made this device to measure how much weed you have in your system, but you shouldn't get in trouble for how much you have in your system. But who do they think they're going to sell this to?
Yeah, and I'm sure it'll be kind of one of those things where it's going to be pretty hard to tell, even if it can tell like you smoked 5 minutes ago. That's what it's really going to tell you is how recently you smoked. I think more than how high you are. Again, it's like that doesn't. It's another challengeable thing.
News.
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 Man, this is ridiculous.
We work very well together, okay?
Roosum doosum!
Roosum doosum!
Less funny second time. This one's awesome news because I've been waiting because this happens, and I kind of think it's only awesome that it made the news. That's what's awesome.
I'm sure it happens all the time, and people are stoked.
Yeah,
They're like, "Yeah!"
but this made the
Free
news.
sandwiches at Jimmy John's?
Man finds marijuana hidden in drink can.
Pretty cool, too.
Yeah, pretty very similar. Salt Lake City, a man found 3 ounces of marijuana hidden inside a drink can his girlfriend bought Sunday. Yeah, that's why it's good. Keanu Netzler said his girlfriend bought groceries at a Walmart in Salt Lake City and came home with some Arizona iced tea.
I couldn't have not been
When
a Walmart,
Netz-
though. That's
When Netzler tried to open the drink, something was wrong. It wouldn't open like normal, so he started to investigate it. I started cutting around the top, Netzler said.
Why would you do that?
Why would
He
you
was
do
really thirsty.
Just put it to the side and get another can.
Inside it, he found a cement jar with the marijuana. He immediately asked his girlfriend where she bought the drink. I ran to her room, banged on her door, and was like, "Where did you get this can?" Netzler said.
I need more.
get
Yeah,
more.
do they have more of this on sale? Because these are 99 cents each, and there was 3 ounces in there.
That is a very good. That's a good way to get. Yeah, he's economic.
She insisted she bought the drink at Walmart, and Netzler decided to call police.
What a
Oh.
douche.
Loser.
I mean, look at him.
I know.
Wah, wah, wah.
Lieutenant Lex Bell with Unified Police said he's seen drugs stored in soda cans before,
He's seen it.
but he's never seen the can inside a store. Bell said drug dealers could be finding new ways to make transactions without meeting face to face.
Just leave a can in a Walmart, and I'll give you the money, and you go in there and pick it up. And that's a great idea.
I used to do it with a tree stump.
What?
Yeah,
At
it was
Walmart?
No, but not at a Walmart though. So yeah, yes, it was a public place though. Tree. I'd go in, I'd grab the stuff, I'd leave the money in the tree, and then he'd come back and get it.
Was that a hostage situation? In
No,
an
it was
80s
just he
family
didn't
movie?
want. He just didn't want people to see him, and then there was nothing. It just looked like I was getting weed from a tree.
Yeah, that really looks normal.
News,
This kid
news,
keeps coming
news.
and getting weed from a tree.
Don't grist him. Minnesota to allow pain patients into the medical marijuana program. We may be starting to get some listeners in Minnesota, which I
Nice.
don't think we have any of.
We got to have at least one listener.
I don't know. Minnesota's expanding the pool of people who will be eligible for medical marijuana to include those with chronic pain. Minnesota's medical marijuana program, struggling with lack of patients, will open its door to pain patients next summer. Health Commissioner Ed Ellinger announced Wednesday that the state will add intractable pain to the short list of conditions that allow Minnesotans to legally use medical marijuana. The existing tools are not working well to manage pain, said Ellinger, a physician himself. Adding pain patients to the program was the, quote, right and compassionate choice. So starting August 1st, 2016. August 1st.
I heard that too.
Starting August 1st,
You gonna be
2016.
doing the worst in August?
That's how they say it in Minnesota.
Yeah, Warshin.
It's called August in Minnesota. It's not. Haven't you ever heard how they talk?
I haven't been in Minnesota, so no.
First pain patients will be able to legally use medical marijuana on August 1st, 2016, barring any changes from the legislature. That's kind of interesting because you hear about Illinois being in the same thing where they're like, Illinois, huge program, no patients.
Yeah, they had nothing, right?
Nothing.
No.
Nobody.
Nobody. Well, it's because I think a lot of people are just trying to hold back to go straight to rec. You know what I mean? That's kind of the.
Well, and I mean, a lot of these places pass it, but they don't want to put pain on the list, but then it gets changed.
Oh,
News.
News. Come on, Dred's waiting. And put real news on because he doesn't like that new one.
Scientist presses Oregon for stopgap pesticide testing of marijuana. Stopgap. Starting next spring, Oregon will require all marijuana products sold in dispensaries or recreational shops to undergo testing for nearly 60 pesticides. Until the new rules take effect, the state plans to allow the marijuana industry to continue to operate as it does now, with broad pesticide regulations that allow tainted products to end up on store shelves. But on Monday, the Oregon Health Authority signaled that it is willing to consider tightening up current pesticide rules until new, tougher regulations go into effect next June. A member of the committee that advises the agency on medical marijuana rules on Monday pressed the state to require tougher testing between now and June. Mowgli Holmes, a scientist who owns Phylos Bioscience, a Portland-based company that does genetic research on cannabis, on Monday pushed the health authority to ditch its current requirement that marijuana be tested for 4 broad classes of chemicals and instead require testing of 10 or 20 of the most commonly used pesticides.
How about that?
How about that?
It's pretty boring news.
I mean, it's pesticide testing in another state. That's kind of progressive, new. I don't know. It's news. It's new.
I just
Boring
don't
to
feel like
you.
that should be news because it should just be standard. That's like saying,
Yeah, but
restaurants are
now there's two
have health
This will
critics.
make
or
the
food critics or whatever.
food
Health
inspectors?
There we go. Health inspectors.
Oh my God,
Food
the critics here.
critics.
The food critics here.
The health
Everybody clean up.
Health critic.
The health critic is here. He's gonna,
No, but I mean, like that's what I mean. That's like saying health inspectors go to restaurants. We should have pesticides. It really shouldn't be news. It should just be. We should have. I can't speak today. We should not be using
both of you.
pesticides. Period. That should just be how it is. It shouldn't be news. It should just be.
Well, you know what's
everyday
funny
thing.
about that? Hit the news for me.
news.
I'm going to hit with a few. Pot recall. Edipure pulls 7,770 edibles
a lot of
over
sevens.
what? Pesticides.
This is big news.
And then you don't have to pull the trigger more, but Denver announces 9th pot recall in 10 weeks over pesticide concerns. Or what about this one? Pot products from Denver-based Lab 710 recalled over pesticides. This is number 8. These are all in the last week.
I mean, the thing is that there's so much right now because people weren't like there's material that's been sitting forever,
Right.
and people are just pulling it out, and no one tested any of that stuff, and now the new stuff's been. So it's like we're gonna go through a lot of this.
Now, is this all on the rec side, on the med side?
I'm sure it's on both sides.
We got Gaia's Gardens here. We got
And they're just doing this through secret shoppers, right? They send people in to buy product and then they test it themselves.
usually they list the pesticides on the label.
And
Like
then they're just saying
Edipure-
that pesticide is not a
Edipure,
good
Well,
like,
a lot
I
of them,
know-
a lot of them didn't change their labeling,
from before.
and then they had to list it with the old pesticide. And as the regulations changed, like so,
They left
so
it
some of
on
them
there.
got some of them got
in trouble
screwed from their labels more
Right.
than from their actual material.
Right.
But I mean, you already kind of screwed up by doing that. It's like you can't put out stuff that says it
Yeah.
has illegal stuff on it.
Right. Huh.
So that's not good.
No.
But like I said, I wish I could say that, like, oh, it's not news that another place is adding pesticide regulations, but obviously
We'll
it's a
do it,
problem.
yeah.
It's going to become the standard anyway.
That's what it needs to
I mean,
be.
the cool part about this is it's going to push industry to come up with alternatives that are hopefully, safer.
Like
which is-
grown from seed.
Well, that doesn't guarantee anything either. I mean, you still can get PM on a seed plant. Doesn't mean just you have maybe a better chance not to,
Sure.
but some plants are just as susceptible and they get it. So it's not like people are going to totally alleviate it by starting from seed. But what they're better practicing is the first part.
And that would take so long for your runs too. If you had to start every run from seed, if you couldn't.
Well,
Well,
start
once
a
you're
couple
running,
weeks
once you're up and
earlier, yeah.
running, and you have a big veg area, you don't really
Okay,
count that
okay,
anymore because
yeah.
they go in when they go in. So
It's just like
it's
cutting clones.
unless
but
you're sitting in a
earlier.
closet with one light
One
and you're going to
light,
veg
and
with
like,
one
oh,
light
man,
and then you're going to
it's
flip
gonna
it.
And then flip it.
Then it's an issue. But
Yeah.
besides that, once you have 2 rooms, there's no issues on time with that's like the reason people don't grow from seed for so long because they're, oh my god, the time
It takes so long.
and you're like,
Just the first time.
Don't you have things going on? Can't you start seeds and then in a corner over here somewhere and then
Right.
have things flowering over
Right.
there and you got enough going on? You don't have to wait on the one. I mean, it's always the first plant. Obviously, is going to be the one you have to wait for. But after that,
After that, should be good.
you should have your shit
News,
rolling.
news. In Michigan, marijuana dispensary burns down. Owner arrested.
Ah,
Medical
Owner
marijuana
arrested.
shops have become almost commonplace throughout North Genesee County, but it appears the owner may have broken the law. Also, journalists don't know how to write well in Michigan. It's very concerning, said Ruth Patterson. Patterson said late last night she noticed something suspicious across the street, an empty parking lot in front of 5-Star Meds, except one vehicle, a black van. I wish I would have reported it, Patterson said. Patterson spotted the van a few hours before the building caught fire. I called it in. They said a rig was on the way.
A rig, and they were like, "Cool, we got a rig, and
Cool.
we got some, we got."
So let's make some tea.
Yeah.
Let's make some.
I got a
Charlie,
rig.
Open blast.
Yep.
While Patterson waited for emergency crews to arrive, she shot video of the blaze with her cell phone. Yeah, they were blazing. She was shooting
They
video.
shot them blazing.
She said them.
Pulled up the
she
rig.
said the fire is the third within a few weeks, and has her wondering what's happening in her neighborhood.
That is weird.
Drug enforcement agents were on the scene Tuesday afternoon, removing several dozen marijuana plants. Police said one of the owners of 5-Star Meds was arrested, and the business may have been operating illegally.
Arrested for arson or arrested for just
No,
bad
and
business practices?
I'm wondering if it was like, Oh, there's a fire at this building. We got to go look. Oh, there's weed plants in here. Does this guy have a license to have weed plants?
Could be. But I mean, it said 5-star meds of the sign, so
I
you'd
know.
assume they have their.
You know, it's Michigan. Things don't work the same there. News.
It's looking weed.
Denver is pushing for 120. Have you noticed that the weed in stock photos has gotten better in the past
That's not-
5 years?
that's
That's
not
not
true.
great. No.
But it's better than it used to be.
Yeah. It used to be really, really bad weed. Denver pushing for a 120-day extension of new marijuana license moratorium. Denver's quick response to the legalization of recreational marijuana and the creation of systems that enforce that code has won plaudits from around the country and attracted hundreds of government officials to a city-sponsored 2-day marijuana management symposium earlier this month. But Denver's work is far from done, and yesterday, this was last week, Denver's City Council Business Development Committee met to consider updates to the marijuana regulatory structure. Basically, they extended the moratorium for businesses to convert from medical to recreational for 120 days, so they can consider extending it another 2 years. But what doesn't make sense is, as we know, as Cheesecake Lady's always telling us, the state is trying to stop issuing patient medical marijuana recommendations because they want the tax dollars, so they want more
Right.
people shopping rec.
Yep.
But now the businesses can't become rec.
Yeah.
So what are you going to do?
Conundrums.
The black market is psyched. That's what I know.
That's what happens all the time. The funny thing is they keep trying to figure out ways to take the black market out, and they just keep feeding it like
Amazing.
fanning the fire. It's like New York style, where you're like, you know what? No flowers. That's a great idea. That'll stop the black market.
Yeah, yeah.
That'll stop those guys from importing
Dead
flowers
in their tracks.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't. I'm trying to translate some stuff.
Oh, translating. Where's it coming from?
Well, because when we're talking strawberries, do you know about the Erd beer?
Erg beer?
Erd beer,
No.
which is apparently strawberry in Swiss.
Oh, Erdbeer or bear.
Yeah, I don't know how to pronounce it.
And what about it?
I'm going to translate it. It's a strawberry strain.
That they have.
Yes,
You
and
sure it's not just their version of?
we're gonna get into the timeline here because Matt Riot insists to me that this is where the strawberry strains came from.
Yeah.
And that this has to be. There's no other way. It couldn't have come. Anyone who says otherwise is full of shit. Is what he says. So we're gonna look up the Erd beer.
Ergen beer again.
Okay.
All right.
This says this strawberry Erd beer is a clone-only genetic since about 1994, based in Switzerland. It was for a little bit very common. The basic genetics are unknown. It's likely to be a sativa with Afghani genes. So I don't know what some of this stuff is. Just terrible translations. Thanks for getting the words out, Google.
Green Hornet. Never heard of that.
Are we done with news?
Yeah, we're doing this.
No more news.
A Swiss farmer phoned the breeder and said he had found in a field full of strawberry plants a single plant, only male pollen sacs
And
trained.
this is a guy supposedly in Switzerland. With the same
dude.
story.
Really similar story. And then I found another story about Erd beer, the Swiss version.
Where's that phone number from that guy? Can we call him?
Yeah.
Said he called-
We can't call him.
No.
He's got to call us. Did you tell him to call us?
No, I'm not talking about him. I'm talking about the German guy. We need to call that guy because they said they called the.
Oh, the breeder.
Yeah, we need to find that guy.
The Erd beer is an industrial strain bred to flower quickly, be mold resistant, and machine harvestable. It is said to be bred as a school project at a Swiss university to create perfect Swiss industrial ganja. Some seeds somehow got lost. That's another version. And then this is from Hybrids from Hell's site. He first came across the strain in 99, he says.
This is a guy supposedly in Switzerland.
That's the kid.
The kid.
He says there remains one most stubborn rumor about the source that doesn't agree with that previous one, that there was a hemp freak living with many squatters in a big factory complex in Zurich. He made the original seeds. Probably it was never his intention to sell seeds. The squat was shut down by police, and the Erd beer was available to a few clone producers in the Zurich area. Zurich, Switzerland is where Adam says. Chat room, what do you guys think?
That's interesting. Some crazy guy in a squat.
Yeah, which I feel like is not the best environment for breeding. I actually can't imagine doing that. breeding in a squat? That seems impossible.
Oh, it's been done plenty of times. That's
Like true breeding, really? Like generations to work in lines?
yeah. There's some wacky freaks in those squats and
hemp
they're-
freak. Yeah.
Oh, for sure. And there's, some of those places have got quite a lot of land. They got a lot of space. Then there's people doing all sorts of. There was a squat in Amsterdam that for years. You go out there and it was like people had fields like growing in their area because no cops would ever go into that spot.
Right.
You know what I mean, it's pretty much free zone. And they lived there for 10 plus 12 years. So it's not like they all have to move around all the time. A lot of those
Sure,
things
it's not
now
like
they
New
do.
York
Now they're all
squats.
gone. Now pretty much all the squats are gone. But for the longest time, those were like establishments, and a lot of them were pretty. A lot of times they were polluted land. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it wouldn't be like ideal for most things.
So I guess
But
I'm
you-
always picturing like a New York
but you-
squat where it's a building. So
but you
you're
could
talking
imagine-
about there were like field squats.
Yeah, well, there'd be like old warehouse with a big field next to it, and knock down the building, and then reclaim it. And there's people. There's all sorts, like ex-military bases, and
Good
there's
kind of squat.
yeah. There's
What's the best kind of squat?
there's a lot. There was ones that were literally like top floor penthouse apartments with swimming pools and everything. That
That's the
people
best
had,
kind of squat.
people I went to the party one time and it was like elevator to the top floor. You get there, the pool was empty and people were skating in it and doing whatever. But it was
Sure.
like literally a multi-million-dollar apartment in Amsterdam with built-in pools and everything, and they got it all working. They got the intercoms working. They got the
ringer and all the
everything
buzzer.
worked. And the radio, it had TVs in every room, screens in every room that you could communicate with people. And it was like, wow, this is nice. And there was another one that
This
was
is squatting.
there was another one that was really cool. It was an old embassy.
Really? An embassy?
Yeah.
I feel like that's the sort of building that doesn't get forgotten about. Like
No,
a
it was
country owns that, right?
It was an embassy, and it was it was called the Elf, the 11th floor. So it was the
Elf.
the Elf,
Yeah.
and it was
Elf is 11 in German, yeah.
Yeah.
The same in Dutch?
Yeah, and it was crazy, dude. You go there and it was just like every floor something else going on. My friend was blowing glass in his studio, and then you go down. Everyone's on acid and freaking out the whole time, and you just be like, my God,
This floor is crazy.
Oh yeah, and you go to then there'd be a party going on for like a week on the top floor. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, it just goes on all week. It doesn't stop. And you're just like, wow, this is nuts. So those times are pretty fun.
Squatter days.
Squatter days, and it's funny. I never lived in a squat, and everybody always was assuming that I lived.
That you lived in, what squat do you live in, Adam?
So you live in a squat, right? I was like, how was it?
You look weird and you smell kind of bad.
I lived in. I always paid my rent. I always paid rent. A lot of rent. I would pay. Even Cece's like, you love to pay rent, don't you? I'm like, yeah, I love to pay rent.
Yeah, I noticed. Me too.
I'm all about rent.
You love paying rent.
Yeah,
There's something about that satisfaction of like
not
especially
owning anything, not
and
owning
having
anything.
that security deposit in there too.
Yeah,
so
that
they
you'll
can
never
take
get it
your
back.
money.
You'll never get it back. I've never got a security deposit back. I don't think ever. Like ever.
Seriously?
Never.
Because he hangs out with squatters and
was gonna
stuff.
say,
As soon as he has an
start taking care of
apartment,
his shit.
people start squatting in the spare rooms.
Yes. No, it was really funny. Like the last place I lived in Amsterdam was a really nice place, like a super nice apartment, and it was just like I never was there half the time. So it was like this is the biggest waste of time. I should have lived in a squat. Would have been great. My ex-girlfriend was in a squat. I pulled her out of a squat.
Pulled her out of the squat.
Like-
She should have pulled you in.
I pulled her out. So-
You got your strawberry?
Oh, anyway, let me
Strawberry Jerry, we're going to call him right now.
Gotta give him a text. Since
Strawberry
we're so late.
Jerry.
Originally, I told him we're going to call him at 10 o'clock this morning, and we're going
Yeah,
to
that's
have a great
ridiculous.
discussion.
That's
about-
okay. We were supposed to talk about this months ago, and I just got a hold of him this week. So
That's right.
Strawberry Jerry, ladies and gentlemen.
Strawberry Jerry forever.
So chat room, what do you guys think? Do you think that this Swiss strain was, as Matt Riot theorizes, where this strawberry? Matt is of this opinion that there are only certain terpene mutations that exist in only certain obscure lines. That it really wouldn't happen twice. It's such a long shot thing. And his other example for that, by the way, is the banana OG.
Uh-huh.
Because some people say it's a skunk haze cross, and he's like, there's no way. There's only one thing that's ever had that banana, the Sagarmatha banana, and that's what it had to be. What do you think, Adam? Chat room, what do you guys think?
I mean, it's
Do
hard
you
to say.
see people like accidentally remake a strain that
doesn't-
smells the same? It doesn't
it
happen,
doesn't
right?
happen. No, not very often, right?
Like, how long have we been searching for skunk terps? If someone could have done that by accident, I feel like I would know by now.
No, for sure.
Dead air's good though.
Dead
Kid,
air's
what are
good.
you looking at? Are you worried about California? Are you going to San
that
Bernardino?
shit just. I mean, do you realize was just like blocks from where? Blocks
I
from
know
where we get
because
the-
of the testing, the raves, and the drugs.
It drives me crazy, dude.
The
You can't be
testing,
safe
the
anywhere,
raves,
man.
the
You're not
drugs.
fucking safe anywhere anymore.
Jade Helm. I mean, wait.
It's just bullshit.
think
dude.
any innocent
I can't leave
oranges
my
were hit?
fucking. I can't leave my house without
An AK-47.
feeling like well, no, but without feeling like somebody's gonna walk into whatever fucking building I'm in and just decide to start shooting an
No, but
AK-47.
well, yeah. I mean, you've lost now. You've
You've
lost. You've lost.
The government won.
You have lost.
You're going to give them
You
the
can't
power.
Be scared.
Yeah, you
Oh, I'm
can
not
never be
afraid.
scared.
I just think it's bullshit that. I
It's
mean,
not,
like I said,
'cause it's not true,
if
buddy.
somebody's going to walk into my building and start shooting, then that's just going to happen. I'm not afraid of that. It's just the fact that
We have Skype up, right?
yeah, we do.
All right,
But the fact that we have to even have that concern, or have to
It's
even
a lot like pesticides.
right, it is. It is. The gun terrorists are like pesticides, and the fact that I have to worry about someone. I even have to think about pesticides being on my weed is bullshit, and the fact that I even have to be standing in a Walgreens, for example, and have to think, is there going to be a fucking dude coming in here and shooting up the Walgreens because it sells birth control or something? I mean, it's ridiculous, man. It's ridiculous.
What if it's for
whether it's
shitty-
government orchestrated or not, it's still ridiculous.
It's Jade Helm, right, Adam?
I mean, if it's government orchestrated, then that's fucking bullshit, and if it's not government orchestrated, then people are just fucking sick. And either way, it's bullshit that we have to have that. And it, I mean, in all honesty, I've never.
Maybe it's because people get angry about things.
But
they
no,
get too
but,
salty.
okay. But listen, I get angry and I get salty. Never once could I ever contemplate taking another's life. I mean, fighting with somebody or beating someone up or getting into a fight or getting beat up—that's one thing. But thinking about taking someone's life over something like that, you would have to harm me, harm my family. They're the only two things that would require.
You're not old enough to have that level of saltiness, possibly, too. These
But what about
gentlemen
that Aurora shooter, man, who shot up this?
You're not
Are you
on
still
enough
talking about
pills.
shooting?
That's true. I mean, but it's just, I don't know, man. I've always been gun friendly, just like Adam said, but I've never had a gun. But I've never also wanted to get a gun. and
That's
now
weird. That's
I
like
do.
people saying they're dog friendly and they don't have a dog.
No, like I've shot guns.
Like-
I've gone
Like,
to
I
gun
like
range,
kids, but I don't have a. If
I
you
just
say
don't
if you-
carry a gun.
If you were to say to me, I'm very kid friendly. I love kids.
but you don't have a kid yet.
Yeah,
I just don't have a gun. I don't carry.
You didn't
a gun.
say gun yet.
I don't have a gun. I've never felt the need to carry a gun until now, and I feel like I want to go and.
You are like you are like Sonny. You're like just like that show.
No,
when they
no,
all went
but-
out and got their guns. They all went
Yes.
nuts. It's exactly
But-
like that.
Is that what that happened?
Yes,
I'm glad I've never
it's
seen
called
the show.
Gun There's actually 2 episodes about it. Gun Fever, Too Hot, and Gun Fever, Still Too Hot. And it's
It's pretty much they
pretty
go.
the same
they
thing.
are going crazy.
but no, for real. I mean, the fact that we could be. I mean, what's to say the Cannabis Cup isn't a next targeted event? You know what I mean? The Denver Cannabis Cup with 60,000
Cannabis Cup would be a
people,
great
dude.
event. Let's put it out there for them. Hey guys,
I'm
if you
sure,
would
I'm
like-
sure ISIS isn't listening to the Adam Dunn show.
Oh, dude, they're the
You
biggest-
didn't see. I posted on Adam's. Did you
Yeah?
see?
No.
Oh,
They ripped off the
used our
ADSI logo.
Hey, we got caller.
They ripped off. ISIS has officially started a war with the Adam Dunn Show.
I know. Let's hope that it's not true. Welcome to the Adam Dunn Show. Who we got on the
Hey guys.
Hey, nice talking to you. Hey, you know the funny part is between Mitch and I, we both neither of us caught any,
Yeah, we never-
any names.
We never caught your name. We call you Strawberry Jerry.
Now
but
you're
that's
Strawberry
probably
Jerry,
not your name.
but
Cool, I'll use that as an AKA, I guess, huh?
there you go. Whatever you want. I mean, we didn't really want to blow you out of the water, but then we were like, hey, we can't do it because we don't even know his name, so that keeps it more
Yeah, I was
mysterious.
just going by the name Narsgard.
Okay, nice one.
Narsgard, a.k.a. Strawberry Jerry.
Yeah, we like Strawberry Jerry.
Yeah, AKA Strawberry Sherry, man.
So we
Totally, I like it.
we touched on a few things here. We actually read, because I guess you weren't listening to the show, but we read a German breeder's story about
Swiss breeder. Who's
Swiss
just raised
breeder.
in
Sorry,
Germany.
Swiss breeder, and it was right around the same. It was like 1994, and it's like the same story. Like he's talking.
So there's this Swiss strawberry strain. We should discuss that.
yes,
There's a Swiss strawberry strain, and a buddy of ours says it's got to be the same. It's got to be connected. It has to be. There can't be two strawberry mutations. There's no way. So,
I think isn't Ariane using that? I think it's in one of the greenhouse strains, isn't it?
yeah, but this is pre that. This is like
Yeah.
1994 is the
so it's
earliest.
a year
we're
before he
hearing.
started his seed company, also. And it was,
Yes.
but they're claiming like similar stories as far as the strawberry field, growing it in the
It probably is because it's all those kind of that same kind of flavor strains kind of come out of that NL5 line, you know, like the Mikado or whatever is like the raspberry, and then there's like
tell us about the NL5 connection to it too, because you told me that yesterday.
Yeah, Adam did not remember anything. That
I was
told
tired.
him.
I was like, I didn't even ask him too many questions. I said I wanted to live for today.
For the 100 people who are listening now, and the 1,000 plus who are going to listen in the next week, let's just lay it out. Who are you, Strawberry Jerry, and why the hell are we listening to you tell us this story?
Well, it's the Strawberry Fields is from Vermont. You know, I know the family really well, and
how long have you known the family?
I've known the family since about 2005.
Okay, but they obviously had been doing it since way before then, right?
Yeah. It's an older member of the family, and you know, when I first met them, I just thought, you know, this is like some strawberry cough or something like that. You know what I mean? I didn't think, you know, it was what it was. You know, at first, you know, until I got to know them a little better, and then we got to find out that we were growing the first strain that we got from the older member of the family. He was growing it, and he makes his own seeds. He makes his own. He sells the plants. And you get a couple of seeds every once in a while when you get a bag from him. So first stuff we were getting from him was the strawberry pheno. I guess he had been... Well, all right, well, let's start originally what it was. It started in Canada. You know, the same family, ended up in Vermont, and it's an NL5 haze. And it's one of the NL5 phenos of that strain. You know how like grapefruit is like an NL5 sort of pheno, the Mikado, and all those other sort of things. It's kind of the same deal. Strawberry, the raspberry, the grapefruit. It's kind of like the same deal.
So you're saying that you think that all those fruity terps are sort of like hidden somewhere in NL5, just waiting for the right combination to pop out?
Pretty much, yeah. I mean, it was like an NL5 haze, but like a sort of like a grapefruit pheno sort of type of deal. But it was like.
And it's amazing how
I just popped a bunch of like S1 sweet pink grapefruits, and I got like, you know, really short. Most of the phenotypes are like a grapefruit, more a little bit taller, sativa-looking leaf pheno, and they're very fruity. But I got one phenotype out of like 35 seeds that was really like an Afghan pheno. Really looked tight, smaller, fatter leaves. Really hashy flavored buds, but it was really, really strawberry-like, and you can kind of see like that, kind of where it all comes from in that NL5 family, you know. So the strawberry we were getting from him at first was just like that. It was like kind of like an NL5, like strawberry-like Afghan pheno with like a little bit of haze in it. And what it was he took the strawberry fields like years ago, and he had a Hawaiian sativa that was crossed to a pineapple kush. And that he had those two females going. He had the strawberry fields, and he had that pineapple kush Hawaiian. And he had been selfing the strawberry fields for a while, and he had, I guess, a seed stock made up. He crossed those two and ended up, what we were growing when I met them was the strawberry pheno of that cross. And then we started getting, after a while, we started getting the other pheno, which was like the pineapple kush Hawaiian pheno. And that was really, really cat pissy, like the haze Hawaiian pheno side. And it was, we started calling it Vermont cat piss. You know, it was like so fucking cat pissy. I mean, it would like make people gag. Like, it was fucking, but in a good way, you know. Kind of like that, you know, how skunk is
So I want to ask...
Good and bad sometimes, right?
I'm curious enough about the cat piss, but to go back to the strawberry and the strawberry field, so where did he say he got it from?
It's a Sativa Seed Club, you know. It's mail order.
Just an NL5 Haze pack of seeds from Super Sativa Seed Club that he grew out?
Yeah.
And now what's the whole thing with growing it in a strawberry field?
No, see that, yeah. They're, it's like a lot of people in an area, a lot of people are farmers, they're farmers too, and no one was really, it has nothing to do with, a strawberry farmer or a strawberry crop or matching it to the flavor of his strawberries, or anything like that. It was just, phenotype that popped out. You know what I mean? It's just a story. You know.
Right. So it wasn't grown in a strawberry field per se.
No, it wasn't. No.
Sounds good though, right? It's a
It
good story.
sounds really
Yeah,
good.
it
It's a
definitely
good-
does. That's what
It sounds good,
I
except for
always have, like,
if you've grown weed before, you're like, it can't absorb flavors from the plants
Yeah.
around
Or
it.
it can in both Switzerland and America.
Yeah,
if you
only in
wanna
these
believe
magic
it.
or these magic spots,
Yeah.
these magic zones in the world.
that's one of those theories I'm not too settled on. You know what I mean? There seems to be some experts that think.
So
that flavor
around,
does get
around
imparted by
what
it.
year was he first really putting out the strawberry fields?
I'm sorry. Say it again.
Around what year was he really putting out that strawberry fields to start with?
That's the thing is, I don't know. I didn't get any like dates on that. The older guys, they don't really like talking about it too much. So getting a lot of information from them is like, it's kind of, you know, some people think like, you know, it's just this story, like this magical strawberry farmer, you know. I mean, so these people are like, you know, they're doing it for like, you know, personal use and stuff like that. They're doing it to
Do you know if they're like
provide a living for themselves and stuff like that. And like some of the older generation of this family, the ones that started it, they don't they're not like in the scene like we are so much. You know what I mean? Like they don't like
sure? Do you think
care
they're
to talk about it as much as like the younger members of the family do that I'm friends with. You know.
Sure.
So it's kind of harder to get a lot of information. Exactly what date did you do it? And it's like, you know, then they kind of get sketchy. You start asking them stuff like that. You know,
Oh, we know, buddy. We've been doing this show for like 2 years. We talked to a lot of them.
Yeah, no, and
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure they were happy that people believe this story about the farmer, because then there's people driving around looking for
It's a
strawberry
good cover
farms.
story, yeah.
Where's that strawberry farm
Yeah.
in Vermont? I heard about it. You know what I mean? And so you know,
But there's really no like full on strawberry farms anyway. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah, I
there's
feel
berry
like they
farms
don't
and
grow
they do strawberries and
strawberries,
stuff too. But one thing I wanted to say is that the way I guess it got down to Connecticut is, you know, or the way it got out of Grandpa's house. He doesn't give out clones or anything like that.
But you said
So,
he
you
kept...
know, it got out of his house through the feminized seeds he was making that come in his bag. So somebody must have sprouted them in Vermont and brought a clone down to Connecticut, or they brought some feminized seeds down and they sprouted them there, and then that's how Kyle Kushman got it, I guess. So.
Well, we're going to have Kyle on later today. I mean, Kyle's story that I've read, and we'll get it from his mouth, is that he got a bunch of seeds from a special guy. So he says he got seeds, and then he popped those and found his pheno of the strawberry cough, or at least that's what we read earlier today. But we'll get it right from Kyle's mouth in about 2 minutes here. 10. What time is it? Is it 1:50 or 1:58?
Cool.
I can't read.
it's 150.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
1:59.
I'm sending him the text.
Cool. So yeah, he should call in a minute, and then we can make maybe make some connections. I mean, it would be cool if you guys knew common people, and we could really line the stories up, because everyone knows that Kyle Kushman definitely has what we know to be the strawberry cough.
Yeah, yeah.
So if
I've
we
read
could
some
somehow-
stories online that kind of, you know, talk about the area that it's supposed to be from, and it's like right on the hitting the nail right on the head. I was like, wow, I didn't really expect to come across any stories, but
Right.
yeah, I read a name of some guy that supposedly brought it down from Vermont, but we didn't recognize the nickname or anything like that. So
Gotcha.
someone by the name of Cornbread. Yeah, we don't know him, but
Well, you could probably figure something out with Kyle. I mean, if you guys know the same people, to me that would
yeah,
give
it's
a lot
a lot of people get his bud up in Vermont, so it could have been anybody. You know,
Sure.
it usually always has seeds in it. You know, you always get a couple. You get an eight,
So-
you get a couple of seeds in it. And,
So this strawberry bud has been around Vermont for a while. This kind of
yeah, it's a lot of people. You'll hear a lot of people. You know, so it's called the strawberry. They'll call it the strawberry or the NL5 haze. A lot of people up there know it to be NL5 haze. You know, because
That's
they'll call it the
interesting.
strawberry or NL5 haze. Or,
Well, if you think about the structure on it, though, it does have because the thing is, NL5 haze is one of those plants that really has like large calyxes and really like the leaves are very pointy and distinctive. There's certain things about it, you know what I mean? So when you grow it out, compared to like the NL2 is a lot more like more heavy indica looking and
fruitier too, right?
yeah, and
Yeah.
like the leaves were more hanging on it, you know. Whereas the NL5 haze really had that like pow, almost like how the golden goat grows, you know what I mean? Like that, like
Yeah.
overextended praying at all times.
Yeah.
Which is a happy look. We like that.
Well, there's a lot of people like that know that used to grow like the strawberry, the Vermont strawberry. It must have come from his seeds. There was, I don't know if it was a cutting going around or there was many cuttings from his seeds. I have no idea, but a lot of people were growing. You hear a lot of stories about the Vermont strawberry, the NL5 haze, they call it. But a lot of people that were growing that, they don't seem to know that it turned into strawberry cough. You know what I mean? Nobody. It's
well.
A lot of people just don't know.
So I want to read you the story that we read in the beginning of the show from Texas Kid, who I did get a hold of, and he said, "Man, I frankly at this point don't even remember it. At the time, I knew what I was talking about, but I'm not that crazy about it anymore." He says, "Okay, the strawberry cough pheno was found in sorting through dozens of these seeds that were given to Kyle Cushman." That's what he says. But then Nebu said, who worked with Cushman at High Times, and we'll ask Cushman himself in a minute, that it's that strawberry fields crossed with a haze, and that Cushman had gotten it as a clone, not seeds. I guess
he said he got it in a box or something. He didn't think it was going to be very good. But when he got it home, he opened the box, and I guess
smelled like strawberry,
which is
totally
a bit of strawberry flavor.
Like when I brought my strawberry cough clones from one place to another place after a long journey that involved a lot of traveling, it definitely reeked like strawberries when you pop that thing. Even just the cuttings.
Yeah, especially when you get you got an older, a couple of clones like off the original mom. They start getting those, the ovaries on the side that have all the crystals and stuff. They always reek. You always get a good rub on those. So.
And it's good. I mean, any strain where you can really smell a distinct, not just planty aroma in, not even in veg, but it's a cut. You know what I mean? It's a snip. It's not even rooted. I think that's always good.
Yeah, definitely, for sure. I've had some that just hurt your nose when you smell them. Just the leaves.
All right, so he's ready with headphones on, so we can just get Kid.
Cool. So we just need to have Ryan ready on the controls, and we'll bring Kyle Cushman on. And we'll ask him. Now, our buddy Matt Riot,
okay, I'll tell him
maybe.
He says he's skeptical of the NL5 haze thing. Now, what were you telling me about? What were you saying about other phenos that are similarly fruity that you've pulled out of the NL5 haze or know about?
Well, I guess like Mikado, I heard is supposed to be, I guess it's AKA known as the raspberry. So. It's like that raspberry pheno, and I guess grapefruit is NL5 also, and what else do we have? The strawberry and stuff like that. It all seems to be out of the same NL5 line, right?
Yeah, I mean, Adam seems to vouch for it. Matt doesn't believe that there could be two bananas either. But again, we go back to that theory, and this is a broader question. We're not doubting the story. We're asking this philosophian, of course.
He's calling?
I've seen what I get out of NL5 is usually hazy flavors or not cushy, but hashy Afghani sort of flavors.
Yeah.
And then the fruity phenos. So it seems to be those three sort of.
Speaking of fruity phenos, Speaking of fruity phenos, we got somebody on the line.
What's my nickname again? I'm sorry, I have to write that down. I'm going to forget.
Strawberry Jerry.
Strawberry.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, strawberry.
Yeah, there's a jerry berry that goes around in Vermont. It's purple pine berry. That's a cutting that's been going on for a while.
Strawberry Jerry. That sounds like a segue to me.
Yeah, well, you were the fruity pheno we were talking about, actually.
Oh, so I'm Fruity Pheno and he's Strawberry Jerry.
Well, we just said you're
sweet.
A Fruity Pheno just popped on our line here, so whenever you can use those two words together, we're going to do it every time. So Mr. Kyle Cushman is on the line, and I'm glad you answered the call today because I was thinking it was a quick one. I was like, get him on the line now. I'm like, all right.
What's up, Mr. Dunn?
How are you doing, my friend?
I'm great.
How's your show?
It was fun. It was great. I got blasted.
Yeah, you had Bubble Man on, huh?
I did. It was, we just went with the flow, and I just ended up lighting up some cherry cough.
Nice.
Yeah.
Are you in Hash Church a lot with him, or?
I haven't done it yet, and I just ran into him literally, physically, for the first time we saw each other in 10 years.
Yeah, well,
in Jamaica.
I was going to say he can't come to America, so it has to be somewhere else, obviously.
Right.
Well, he can come. He just doesn't want to come.
But I'm definitely going to do it. We were talking about it at the end of the show, and
nice.
It's a great podcast.
Yeah, well, I got somebody requesting me to come on in the next couple weeks too, so maybe we'll be there together. Our heads will be right next to each other on a little strip. On a little strip,
as it should be.
Yeah. So we obviously brought you in because of the Strawberry Fields connection, and like we said, you're probably the most well-known person out there with a strawberry moniker attached to anything.
Well, tell me, what did I miss? Because I want to know.
So our buddy on the line here, Strawberry Jerry, which is the nickname we gave him.
Is that Mitch there?
This is Mitch. What's going on,
What
Kyle?
up, bud? How are you today?
Good, man. So our buddy on the line here says that he knows the family that made the Strawberry Fields and is telling us this whole story, but, we feel like you are clearly somewhere near to the source on this thing, so maybe you guys should talk.
Well, Jerry, you're way closer than I am, and I'm sorry I wasn't listening because I was actually doing my own podcast while you guys were talking. So,
cool.
So without, what's the long and the short of it? I mean, all I know is that a young kid named Tyrone had it up in Bridgeport, Connecticut, and shared a clone with me. That's all I know.
And that's interesting because we're ended in Connecticut at the story.
Connecticut is where we left off.
It's pretty easy. It's just an NL5 haze. It was started in Canada. It ended up in Vermont. One of the family members, and he sells it, made his own seeds and stuff like that. And when you get bags from him, you get a couple of seeds here and there. And
did you get
pretty much how it ended up down in Connecticcut, we think.
Kyle,
so is this guy still around?
Yeah, he is. Yeah. It ended up getting crossed to a Pineapple Kush Hawaiian female that he had, and we had Strawberry Phenos out of that, and we had the other.
This guy would his initials happen to be JT?
No, they're not.
Okay. Yeah. See, like I said, I've been trying to piece this together for years.
And wouldn't it be crazy, Kyle, if it really was just NL5 haze, and you're like, God damn it! After all this time of trying to figure it out, and it's like it comes out, it's like a mail order seed from Holland that was just selected.
Yeah, it's just a selection. They didn't create it. It was just, I guess you would call
That's
it
crazy because I've gotten Starberry out of it. I've gotten the Cherry Cough out of it. I've gotten the Cherry Lopez out of it. And Strawberry Cough has been my favorite smoke for over 15 years. Who named it, by the way? Do you know?
I don't know.
No, I was going to ask you that, Kyle. I was hoping you knew the answer to that one.
I was telling them, I popped a bunch of Sweet Pink Grapefruit S1s recently and got an Afghan pheno that was a really shorter, Afghani-looking pheno. It's really strawberry-like, and all the little bit taller sativa-looking phenos are all the typical grapefruit.
I also got the Jurassic Haze out of it, man. I got this humongous, sage-looking plant. It was humongous.
Nice.
So
you just said the magic word.
Yeah, you said
sage. He knows.
Yeah.
He knows.
He knows how to tickle the spot.
He's he's got it down. He's like, throw sage in there. Keep him happy. Keep him happy.
A little slap and tickle.
All right, so Matt Riot is commentating from afar, reminding us in the early 80s there was a cut called Strawberry Cream that came from that Erd beer line. Erd beer was imported to Switzerland in the 70s, he says. Unfortunately, in the late 2000s, Cedarberry Farms made a Strawberry Cough BX and called it Strawberry Cream, so it confused a lot of people. But the Strawberry Cream cut was big when his dad was growing up when he was little in Bakersfield.
Oh, he never wasn't little, though. That's the problem. Mr. Riot's still little.
When I started that Strawberry pheno, I took it down a little bit early, and that thing, before it kind of went over the mark and matured, it was really, really creamy. And it kind of didn't stay that way when I threw out the clones and let them fully mature. The cream kind of faded, and it turned into more of a strawberry flavor. I was hoping the cream would stay because I wanted to name it Cream Puff, but...
Well, we're going to get together, you and I, and we're going to bring this story into the future.
Oh, for sure, man. We're using the family has that cross going still. There, the older member of the family, he's not growing the strawberry pheno. He was doing it 05 when I first met them, and we got a couple batches, and then it stopped, and we got a few seeds out of it. grew a few in cornfields, and that was kind of like, before I even really knew what it was, like I just kind of figured, it's just fucking strawberry cough, you know what I mean?
That's just strawberry cough,
one of the most
widely
you know what I'm saying? I didn't think it was,
in the whole.
you know what I'm saying? It was like, not, strawberry cough is insane fucking awesome, but,
I know.
you know what I'm saying? I didn't think it was strawberry fields, you know what I mean? That's what I kind of meant by that.
Right. I got to say, I certainly have benefited by the mystery behind it. It's helped, make it a topic of discussion, along with the fact that it's just really good strains.
Yeah. When I first met them, they had, this is the strawberry, and I just assumed it was just, it was strawberry cough. You know what I mean? I just didn't think that you're meeting these people, like you're going to run into the strawberry cough family. It's kind of, or the strawberry field family.
I got to tell you, I've crossed it so many times, and so rarely is it better than the original. And that's why there are so few.
It's like the sour story, and a lot of strains are like that. Though it's like, damn, we just can't seem to.
Oh no!
It's the queen of the jungle, man.
Right.
You put her in the room, and if you put her in a room and you mix it up with a bunch of others, man, she knows if you're not paying sole attention to her, and she will not perform. She is the queen of the absolute jungle.
Nice.
I know that.
Well, after it was like after 05, 06, we started getting the other phenotype of that cross, like the Hawaiian sort of like haze pheno, that capiss, and it's just insane good. It's just takes a long time to flower, of course, but it's more of a sativa pheno.
Well, that's what's nice about the strawberry is it's just basically really a 9-week strain. Maybe it can go a little longer if you grow these humongous size colas. I think the largest strawberry cough cola indoors I've ever seen was the size of like a Nerf football.
Nice.
No lie, it dried up to well over 2 ounces. Just the single top cola. And
it's so good. I'm the newest breeder for Motor Rebel Genetics, and he uses a lot of strawberry stuff, so,
Well, cheers to him. To you guys.
Definitely. So we're going to hopefully get some of the Strawberry Fields family stuff incorporated in some of his crosses and some of my stuff. And
nice. Do it. Go get the .com right now. Like right now while you're on the phone with us.
Yeah, so I guess I had out of all my tea that I was collecting from the bags I was getting and stuff, I popped a bunch and got a really, really killer cat piss and gave it back to the family. They wanted it. I gave it back to them, and they crossed it to a thunderberry. I guess it's thunderfuck blueberry, I guess. Crossed it with, they're calling it Vermont Thundercat, so I'm going to check that out when I go back. Yeah, so that's something the family was working on, I guess.
I think when it comes to strain names, I tend to like the ones that are more family-oriented, if you could say. That's a little weird, right? I tend to steer away from the ones...
You like the PG ones? You're more...
Well, the ones that make you smile rather than make you make a face like somebody just farted or something.
Yeah. It's the beginning. I think the beginning started with like AK-47 and stuff like that, where you're like, it's not the greatest name, and then wheelchair this, and you're like, nah, I don't like that, and anything with
green crack.
Yeah, and green crack's a terrible one. There's just so many. Cat piss. I mean, we all kind of got over it. It's kind of like skunk. We're kind of like, I love cat piss. You know what I mean? I love skunk and I love cat piss. I love the worst smells possible. Anything nasty, we love it. But that is definitely not the greatest thing in your mind, especially if you have a male cat. Man, those things.
I wonder if everything going into the future, if the names are just going to all go back to like XJ13.
Yeah, I was going to say it is going to end
MI5.
A lot of numbers and stuff because people are going to get start running out of stuff.
You're going to run out of names soon,
Run out of names, or you're always you're stepping on this guy's toes if you use that word, and if you use that, you can't do that because those guys.
It was fun for a while, wasn't it?
Oh yeah. That's the part of the industry where I think everybody starts in their mind like, oh, if I took this and crossed it with that, I could have that. And you're like, that sounds great, but there's
everybody wants to make a strain, right?
But I like to name the strains after I have the weed, not before I do it, because when you do it before, you're just that's the name game. But it's really cool when you grow something out and then you're sitting around and you kind of like
sage.
all of a sudden you go like, oh my God, you taste that? And then if everybody in the room tastes it, it's a real thing. You know what I mean? And then that makes that strain to the point where, just like the strawberry, just like any of these names, that if you put it, I mean, if you call it strawberry and it tasted like ass, what would be it wouldn't go anywhere. It would have stopped right there in its
Strawberry
tracks.
ass.
Yeah, strawberry ass.
That name probably wouldn't sell all that well.
But in general, it's like, then there's a lot of them out there like that where people put titles on it.
I'd probably buy some strawberry ass.
You would buy it.
Yeah,
I know.
it's probably like super skunky.
Funky. It's definitely funky. Yeah.
I've had a few names that kind of like I had, on the on-deck circle that I had to wait to find someone to fill the shoes.
Sure. Oh yeah. That's that's also part of it. But I think if that's your way of doing it, then you're always chasing, trying to find the thing. But it's a lot easier just to grow stuff out and then name it after the fact. It's like having a kid. I mean, if you named your kid before and the name doesn't fit the kid, it's like you're kind of like. You're stuck with it now. We named it because we decided it 10 years ago. And it's
all right, we need to continue this. We definitely need to continue this conversation, but we're going to do shout-outs, and then we're going to come back.
Right, shout-outs. You know this part. This is the part everybody gets to smoke. Chill.
Oh, awesome.
Yes. Eat your oatmeal. Finish your oatmeal.
Oh, cool.
All right.
How'd you know?
You had oatmeal too. You guys are around the same page.
I got Moroccan spice rolled oatmeal.
Whoa.
Oh, pretty damn good.
Not strawberries and cream?
No, I don't like strawberry oatmeal.
Big shout out to Way to Grow.
#1 grow supply here in Colorado. 7 locations to accommodate you. The closest one where we're at right now is the Gun Barrel one. That's the kid's favorite. What kind of candy they got, kid?
No.
You could run over. We're so close. You could run over.
Why don't you run over and grab some candy for us?
No. Right now they got their Merry and Bright sale. Sun System LECs, the 315s for $439. So the 120 volts for $439, the 240 volts for $419, the 630 watt 120 volts for $765, 630 watt 240 volts $699. We love LECs.
Yeah, and definitely if you haven't used them yet, it's a good time to sort of jump into the system. It's like I know you have. I know it's hard to change sometimes, but especially in veg, unbelievable the great growth and. I'm flowering under them, and I'm having. The only thing about flowering them is you got. One thing I found out recently is you have to raise the pH a little bit. It's weird.
Really,
from the lights, just because of the way that the plants grow into those lights.
Raise it a little bit to what?
Bring it up normal. Like if you like running, say if you're on soil and you're running like say 6.4, 6.5, you bring it up to 6.8. And it's weird too because whenever somebody tells you to go out of your comfort zone, you're like,
I don't know if that's gonna work.
But it did work. No, it definitely
worked.
worked.
I like a 6.5, 6.7 rhizosphere pH for soilless.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah. And
big shout out to Incredibles Edibles. Colorado's #1 edible. Can we say the world's #1 edible yet? Countries?
We're going to say soon. You're going to say nationwide.
Nationwide.
Soon we're going to say.
You can say world famous. It's not trademarked.
They are. Yeah, I bet they're world famous.
They are world famous.
I'm sure you've encountered.
The Afghanos are fire, dude. I just had one the other day. So good.
You had another one?
Huh?
You had another one? Dude, I need to get a Fireberry because I haven't gotten a Fireberry in a while. I've been on other flavors. And sometimes you got to go reconnect.
I don't know. I tried to reconnect with the peanut butter Buddha, and like I said, I've just been eating the Afghato recently.
Afghato's
so
hey,
good.
Can
dude.
I just say something? Do you know that John Doe Radio got a box of Incredibles to talk about on their show?
I did notice that. What's up with that?
I'm asking you what's up with that.
Where are they doing
what
this?
What is up with that?
Tim's house. Tim's house is nicer than your house, I guess, kid. That's why they get Incredibles.
Yeah, we don't get the love because of the house. It's because of your house.
It's because you're doing the show from Mom's basement.
No, we're not even. Yeah, we're in the living room.
Yeah.
We're using natural light. We're using natural light though, so that gives us the added effect.
New studio.
Big shout out to Build a Soil, of course. Jeremy at Build a Soil brought us an organics episode just the other week. He's rocking and active.
I got to talk to Jeremy myself.
What do you get?
I got to talk to
Jeremy.
I
need dirt, man.
I need talk to Samson. I need some doit.
What do you need, Doity?
I got a shout out. I want to shout out to Speedweed Marijuana Delivery Service in LA County, the finest.
Speedweed?
Yeah, I don't know if I got their
They do both speed and weed?
Go to speedweed.com and check it out. They've got a menu including Cushman Veganics. And so if you want to try some really good veganic weed, you can call them up if you're in the LA County.
Yeah, don't call them from Colorado.
No.
You can try calling, but I think the delivery charge is going to be way out of
way
your
out.
Not worth it.
Your range.
Big Uber charge on that one.
So you're gonna call Jeremy? You're gonna get soil?
I need soil. Tell
What's
him,
what- what
and
are
I'm
you
going to use
gonna
my
get?
code. I'm going to use my code. I'm going to say I want to use my
What
discount
Which
code.
soil you're gonna
My
get? The
Pellegrino.
Coots mix? You're gonna get the? You're gonna get a custom blend?
I don't know about custom blend. I'm going to start with his stuff.
Coots
of course.
mix?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think so.
What's in that mix? I'm curious.
Well, you remember Cladamus Coot?
Clackamas Coot? Yeah, you were on the episode with him. Yeah.
Right.
The first.
I can't recall.
All right. It was a
It
long
was
time.
it was like
you were
so
high.
long ago.
Okay. We'll give you the.
So what's in it? What's the base?
Let's
We'll
find-
pull it
look-
up
We're gonna
right
have to pull it
now.
up. It's
Pumice, rice hulls. I think he does have peat in it. Hang on. Castings, of course. So you're going to go with this. Which one are you going to go with? You're going to go with the living organic soil or the nutrient kit?
new living.
The
organic.
living organic soil.
There
Okay.
you go. Of course.
All right.
Of course, you're going to go with that, right?
All right. Half part worm power, half part Ole Mountain fish compost, 1 part sphagnum peat moss, 2/3 part pumice, 1/3 part rice hulls. Now 5% pre-charged with Colorado biochar. Has Acadian kelp meal, neem cake, crustacean meal. Also got some bricks blend basalt, gypsum dust, oyster flour.
Damn it! Has no volcanic ash.
But it's got the
It's got the biochar.
yeah. It's got enough.
I was listening. I was just listening for a quick
You had to have
quick
something. You had
silly
to,
joke I could say in
You
there.
needed
you
a
know?
poke, of course.
All right.
Of course. And of course
That sounds really great.
It's a good soil and at $10 a bag. They deliver. Buildasoil.com.
Sounds good to me.
Big,
All right,
big
bring
shout
some
out.
on out here to L.A.
We'll do that. Yeah.
I'll put it in my carry-on.
Speaking of LA, well, they're not there. I hear they're opening back up in LA, by the way, kid. Big shout out to Dark Horse Genetics. Exciting things I hear in the works for Dark Horse in Colorado. Exciting things nationwide. I know those hoodies, there's like 10 left or whatever they said that they got to sell. 10 hoodies left that they can sell.
Wow, they went through all those hoodies.
Yeah, 10 left.
That's amazing.
And you can get that right at darkhorsegenetics.com. You click on the Jaw Farm thing, and it's the Hoodlum Dark Horse collab.
Oh, what a good
limited
collab.
run. It's great. Ryan has one.
Veganics
I
is
have
going
one.
to do a collab, I heard.
Yeah, where's the veganic Hoodlum?
I heard
I was thinking the same thing as you said it. Adam.
Uh-huh. I do a summer edition, too, you know. In the summer,
A
you can,
summer edition.
yeah, which is really, really dope. So you could wear it actually where you live.
Yeah.
That's the biggest problem of buying a bunch of hoodlums and be
you
like,
are a thinker. You
I
are
am.
a true thinker.
I
a
try.
visionary.
They have been called that.
Wow.
Big shout out, of course, also to Elite Cannabis, Mary's Nutritionals. If you need CBD anywhere in the United States other than Florida and the Western District of Pennsylvania, you can order it online, and we'll co-sign them. Well, I've been to the farm. I've been to the processing center. Our buddy P-Bud is working at their farm store. These guys really care. They do a really good job, and I've had great feedback from patients all over the country who I've referred to them as a source of just reliable, high-quality CBD oil.
And if you're now Googling CBD because you've just realized that you can get it shipped to you nationwide, please do not order from medicalmarijuana.com.
Yeah, no, don't order from anywhere else because
get that
most of
nasty
it's
Chinese
Chinese
hemp
hemp paste that has lead in it and all kinds of
Nope.
poison.
If you
Go to Mary's.
Wow, we all agree on that. So
yeah.
it's like, please do not order
Yeah.
from Medical Marijuana.
and these guys are the real deal. They do it because they love doing it. They love helping people. They have to follow just as rigorous of stipulations.
That's the thing. They don't have to. They voluntarily follow just as rigorous
Right.
regulations as
so
we do for
they
everything else.
kill it. They do a great job. So definitely check out marysnutritionals.com, maryspetshop.com.
For your pet
and you'll
needs.
pay the same prices as we pay here in Colorado. Actually, probably a little cheaper because you won't be paying
not
tax.
not Louise's petshop.com.
No.
Mary's.
Mary's.
Not
Pet
Louise.
Shop.
Not Louise.
So that's our shout-outs, right?
Yeah, that's our shout-outs. Now you guys go back.
Show's over. Thanks for calling in, guys.
No.
Think about it.
Yeah.
Oh, it is
These guys
not.
were just waxing poetic about naming strains, which was kind of a hell of a thing. I just had to do my job and make sure we paid the bills.
Yeah, exactly. So we're back to strain names?
Yeah.
Woo, strain names.
Well, so here's the thing. I mean, Matt Wright and I have been texting up a storm.
Did you get anywhere with it?
I did. He might be wrong. He might be right.
Oh, it
I don't
sounds
know.
like a
It's
song.
ambiguous now. It is like it's
It is-
getting to be
it
like
is
a
a
song. He says, "Damn my soul." Well, all right. So here's where it goes.
Sounds like a mosh band.
He says,
He says da da da.
No, he
Shout out
says.
to Catskill J. Avery, because whenever I use the term mosh band, it makes him laugh.
And you sent out to all your people today, so I'm sure he's listening.
Oh, I know he is.
So I went ahead and sent Matt the things I was reading before about the Erd beer.
Right.
That strawberry line. Because he's saying that it's been around for super long. I was like, I don't know. So he said Green Hornet was a much later company. They made some good stuff.
Did you ever hear of Green Hornet? I never heard of them.
Me neither.
Nope.
And then the second post he says was that Espy who made that post. I said it's from Hybrids from Hell. He said, yeah, that's Espy. He encountered the line much later as well. He got it from Felix, so he should know. And then it says it sounds like he's mixing up the purpuratic story.
Telekinesis or something.
Yeah, there you go.
Which one?
Purpuratikinesis. Yeah. Then again, Matt says I could be, but it was out here in the 80s as the strawberry and on to Hawaii when they made that strawberry web, late 80s, early 90s for that. And then he said, okay, I'm the idiot. I found the quote. I was confusing the strawberry with the purpurea. So maybe the strawberry here wasn't from the Erd beer, and I've been super wrong all these years. I hate admitting when I'm wrong. LOL.
And dun dun dun, the mystery continues.
Oh man, I thought we were like starting to really get something there. God damn it.
It's always
It's getting like a soap. It's like a little soapy, like a soap opera.
Yeah, we like that though.
That's what we do.
You know, we wanted to. We obviously would love to solve the Scooby Doo mystery every single episode, but we can't do that.
Well, the
sometimes.
good thing is when we do an episode, usually like the ripples get out into the ether in the weeks and months that follow.
then
and
somebody
people
comes out of the
start
woodwork.
coming out of the woodwork.
Like I gotta tell you, this
Oh
is.
my God! I heard that guy, and he was talking about this, and that's
Yeah.
my friend's uncle. And
Yeah, it'll be like that. Of course, it's kind of like you notice a lot like Kyle. It's like going back in the day to the CIA. Remember how when you came there, how it was just weird how you coincidentally would meet somebody who people would be in there like, wow, I haven't seen you in 20 years. You know what I mean? And then they'd be like, just the weirdest coincidences because of our location was just epic.
Well, I got a little snippet to add. I actually got contacted from somebody. I mentioned some initials earlier, JT, and he is from Bridgeport, Connecticut, and he purports to know the family. I think that Jerry is speaking of. And he has sent me several strawberry crosses, which I'm waiting for the right time to crack open. And I'm pretty excited about that. He seems to know the whole origin, simply similar to what Jerry is talking about.
so you've heard stories similar to Jerry's before.
Yes, and he wrote me a 4-page letter describing the whole similar kind of thing.
Oh,
How
where
it
is
had
it?
been in the
Where is
family
this letter?
for-
Where is
for
this
Where
letter?
is this letter? Did you just throw that out?
I couldn't find it right now, to be honest with you. I did not throw it out, but
Yeah, if you ever find it, we should definitely
scan that.
scan it, get it to us, or part of it. Not the whole thing, but
okay.
I don't want to know all your.
I would like to
I don't
do
know.
that.
You know all
In
your
fact, I
dirty
hadn't thought about that in a little while because I'm just I'm actually getting ready to move.
This is when you find all your
It's the perfect
treasures.
time to find. And you sit there and
Right,
you're like,
well,
do I need
that's
to
why
keep this and throw it
I
out?
don't have a breeding project going on right now. I'm getting ready to move Susie. We just got married in Jamaica. Susie's
Yes.
Oh,
moving here.
congratulations! That's right. We knew that.
Thank you.
And
From
we-
from Arizona.
What a-
She's lived there now for 21 years.
Okay.
Shout out there, my honey love. I know she's listening too. And so I'm getting ready to move, and we're gonna definitely set up a breeding project for the first time now in over a year. So I'm really looking forward to this, and I'll find this letter, and we'll talk again. We'll bring the subject up again.
For sure. Not that we're totally over the subject yet.
No. I mean,
No,
I don't know how much deeper we can
defeated.
dig on
we got,
this
we
one.
got defeated. We've been
Nah,
defeated.
I might have to count this one out, man. I don't know, kid. What do you think?
Kid
You think
doesn't-
there's more to dig here? You're a ghost on the camera, by the way, because the sun in your face. You're just like burning white.
You're just
You look like an angel of God.
Well, I don't know about that, but
The one thing I want to add is that bless Jason King for writing his canon Bibles, because it really, the whole world thinks that I created Strawberry Cough, and right here, once again, for the 1,000th time, I never told anybody that I created the Strawberry Cough. Jason King wrote that in his canon Bible. and it became truth.
Well, it's a Bible, dude. You put it in the Bible. So,
Yes, it did. And,
became-
and I swear to you,
Oh, I'm sure.
I at the Jack Herrera Awards in Upper Lake, California, back in like 2005, I brought him a flower that I couldn't fit into a 2-quart jar. I had to squeeze it to fit it in, and I told him the story of where I got it and who I got it from, and he chose to print what he chose to print. And that's all I have to say about that.
Yeah, I mean, it's like the classic. When he put that book out, though, it was like there was definitely some stuff that was personal from his side. You know what I mean? Like I know for a fact that he had issues with Tony from Soccer Mother.
So he just decided to do me a solid. He was stoned and he wasn't sure. It's crazy, but I appreciate all of the accolades and that people send me. I suppose I did earn some of the credit by traveling cross country with a trunk full of over 100 clones that I gave out city to city across the way. So I'm sure people who've shared it, and people have said, "Where'd you get it?"
Right.
He said, "Kyle Cushman." So I had a little something to do with it.
Yeah. Well, I was saying also before, it's like just maintaining strains is like it's a whole job in itself, and saying so many times that there'll be a group of people and they'll all be growing the same strain, and then like out of that group there's one guy who just is rock solid and never loses it and always keeps it around and keeps it healthy, and then there'll be the guys who they get spider mites or they get PM or they get whatever and they just scratch the whole room out and go back to that guy to get it from him. And at a certain point, I mean, once he's given it back to them 10 or 12 times and there's like a reality, like in a way, because he was there, he kept it. Otherwise, it would have been gone. You know what I mean? So it is a whole
thank
testament
goodness for
itself.
those guys, because I have had to reacquire the strawberry several times. One time, I had to have it mailed to me from New York to California.
Yeah.
Oh man.
No, I mean, I had it with bubblegum. I had it with a lot of strains where you're just like, God damn. And if you didn't give it to that guy, you would have totally lost it,
Those were the best clones, let me tell you. My buddy out in New York, I know he's not listening, so I'm not going to shout him out, but that was the best, healthiest clone shipment I've ever received to this date in my life. He made his own clone shipper, and I had 6 beautifully, fully rooted 2-inch Rockwell Cube clones, perfectly stabilized, overnight mail. I was so happy.
Yeah, it's nice when it's done right, huh? It sucks when you get a thing and you're like, yeah, you do realize it's about 100 degrees out right now. And stuff comes in, it's like mush, it's like literally like liquid in the bottom of a bag or something, You're like, well, that's not how you ship clones, guys.
That was literally, what started everything back for me having it down here in SoCal.
Yeah.
And, then of course, strawberry cough has always been a, not only clone only really, but it's always been a public strain in my eyes. I just wish when I had first given away those first couple of trays that I had looked people in the eye who were very, very appreciative, of course. I had said, please promise to share this. Because I can't believe over the years how many emails and requests I get on a weekly basis of people who can't find strawberry cough. And I've literally given it to hundreds of people.
Sure. And you kind of would have hoped that those hundreds of people would have gave it to at least a couple of people, so there'd be, close to 1,000 now out there.
I wished I would have made it a stipulation, just looked him in the eyes and said, just pass this along. Please share. Please share.
And then whispered your firstborn child, of course.
Right.
Under your breath.
It's my only regret in life.
Well, I'm sure. I mean, luckily it is out there.
It's out there.
And it's not like it is. I mean, it is hard in some areas, I'm sure, to find, just because also the name. I mean, the other thing about names too is it's as easy to name a plant as it is to misname a plant. You know what I mean? And people have done that forever. And there's so much. When the cough was hot, I'm sure there's thousands of clones handed out as strawberry cough that weren't strawberry cough, and then that messes the whole program up too. You know what I mean? So people out there who maybe have smoked it 10 times thinking they've smoked it may have never smoked it, So once we get a little standardization, I think after everything settles down in a few more years, and it's going to become like those are going to be certain plants that people have to have the original, because like you said, it's very hard to breed that in again and like to get that exact one,
Oh, you just made me think of another piece of, I guess, strawberry cough lore, as you might call it, that I guess I got to share, and that is That's how Dutch Passion got the strawberry cough.
yeah, that's
Does
good.
anybody know that story?
No, tell us that one. That's a good
Yeah,
one.
that's a good
little
story.
Hank Von Dolen, little Hank Von Dolen history here.
So this is back at my second or third trip to Amsterdam, as the cultivation reporter for High Times magazine, and so one day I'm at the expo in the Melkweg, and Hank from Dutch Passion, he says, "Kylie, come over here." He puts his arm around me. He says, "Kylie, come sit with me. I have a business proposition to talk to you about." And he says, I have the best genetics from Amsterdam, and I have the best genetics from Europe, and I have the best genetics from Canada, maybe," he said. But I hear you have the best genetics in America. He says, "This strawberry cough, what everybody's talking about." And it's so funny thinking about it now, that like,
You got
how
headhunted.
was it so famous? Was it because
Did you enter it in the cups ever?
No, you know what? It was it had something to do with the fact that I was working in New York when it was gifted to me. And when I brought it back to New York, I went to my buddy who grew, and I gave all the products that I would get for High Times. I had various testers. And I said, "You will grow this." And he said, I'm getting way off base now, but I literally, when I carried it home from Bridgeport, Connecticut, the clone was the size of, it was 2 inches tall, with the leaf surface area of 2 inches. And I put it in a paper bag, and I drove it home, and it smelled like strawberries in the bag. I was going to throw it away. And I took it to my friend in Manhattan, and I said, "You will grow this." And he said, "Are you kidding me? I've been growing the Super Silver Haze, the Cannabis Cup winner." I said, "No, you want to keep getting free equipment? Grow this." And he was also a clone maker. And so he started selling trays of clones in New York City, and it became a delivery service weed there, like overnight. And so that's what helped proliferate the fact that years later...
It was famous. Yeah, it was a famous strain.
Big in New York, you're big everywhere.
Right. I just had a brain fart. Where was I going with that?
Hank Von Dolen.
Hank, Dutch Passion.
Oh, right. So here I am in Amsterdam, working for High Times. And he says, I want these genetics. He says, "I want to partner with you." And I remember saying, "Hank," I said, "I'm not a real good long-distance relationship kind of guy," as Susie's listening out there. We've been doing this long-distance thing for 4 years. But so I'm not really good at long-distance friendships, let alone across the ocean. I said, "How about I just sell you the genetics?" And he said, "Okay." He says, "How much do you want?" And we agreed upon a price. And he gave me half of the money upon delivery and half of the money upon sprouting of the seeds. Now, this is what happened. I wanted to ship him the clone.
Right.
And I tried to talk him into it. And he said, in my terrible Dutch accent, No. He said, "I'll breed it out. No worries. You send me some seeds. And when the seeds pop, I'll send you the rest of the money." And so I went with what I had was the strongest, and I was stoned. You know what? Because if I at least would have crossed it with a sativa, he probably would have had better luck crossing it out. But what I did was I crossed it with the strongest strain I had in my stable at the time. And that was Sweet Tooth number 2 or 3.
Probably 3.
Probably Sweet Tooth 3. And I crossed it with that. And that...
Became dominant.
It didn't dominate it completely, but it made it unable for him to really get any kind of real true strawberry cough similarities. And that's why over the years people haven't been particularly happy with the Dutch Passion strain of strawberry cough.
You bastard. You set him up to fail, man.
It's also my fault Eddie Lepp got arrested. It's all my fault.
Oh man, we had the guy who smoked, the last person who smoked with Jack was here, who basically killed Jack. So we've had all the all of them out here.
Of the industry.
We've had all the worst. My God.
Oh man.
You got to start a segment called the Rogues Gallery.
Yeah.
That's everybody. That's
Everybody's our show.
Called the Rogues
Might have
Gallery.
to change the whole name. No, I'd say, and the thing is, So one of the things that
You got to
happens with
rename whatever strain they're smoking with Jack, I guess, huh?
every strain out there that's gotten like a lot of traction in the world, in my opinion, had some sort of drama based around it too. Because if there's no drama, like, well, come on, like
Maybe
We're
no one
just a
talks
bunch of
about
drama
it.
queens, really?
so was
Was there
it
a bunch of drama queens?
Oh, in the cannabis industry, no, not at all. I don't think there's one. I don't check Instagram. If you want to see
If
drama,
you know what's going on in our studio right now, there's a brooding Instagram upset.
oh my
occurring
gosh, another.
among hash makers.
Is the
So-
Twitter sphere aflutter?
It is. But no, any dramas? Any crazy dramas based on it? Like, you gave it to somebody who then demanded $10,000 for it from somebody else, or any kind of craziness like that?
I've just tried to breed goodwill, and like I said, looking back, I wished I had made it a stipulation of taking these from me, that because it's part of the lore, the sharing and giving. It was gifted to me, and for anybody to hoard it after that point is just really just sacrilegious, if that's possible for an anti-religious person.
Yeah, exactly. Sacrosanct. But yeah, I mean, because
Sacrosanct, is that a word?
Because pretty much like all the other ones, there's always a theft or something. Somebody has to break in to steal it, or and that's
it. Definitely with the OG and
sour
with the
OG.
sour.
All of them have their little history.
But that's the way you prevent that, is by giving it freely to people.
Yeah,
obviously.
and I think that sort of shows that if you're giving it out in the beginning, the thing is too. I think somebody just pointed out that probably the reason why it became so famous is since you were working at High Times, and it was
Right.
in the trans high quotations at $500 an ounce in New York.
Right.
People are going to go, that must be good weed right there. That's got to be good weed at $500 an ounce, and
Right.
and then they, maybe they never get to try it, but once you heard, when you look at that trans high, that's kind of like that
Did
for a
you
lot of
take
people.
that list seriously?
I didn't take it seriously, but I was always happy when I saw my strains on there. I'd be like,
You know what? I wrote that list for a little bit of a while, but even before that,
did you
I
hype yourself
remem-
up? Would you get $12,000 ounces of strawberry
no,
cough?
letters come in from people, and some of them are more sincere than others, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's weird with the strawberry cough, because I've basically got every issue of High Times since 1987, and I didn't meet anybody there until since 1982, and I didn't meet anybody there until 89. And strawberry cough has been in almost every THMQ
Really, even before you were there?
for at least the past 10 or 12 years. I don't think there's a dozen THMQs that strawberry cough is not listed in.
Right. So and then for some people that is their only real way to kind of gauge what's going on.
There's
out there.
12
And
strains.
I'm not making that up. I'm saying that because over the years I've stopped reading High Times cover to cover. But one of the
Still-
things I always glimpse at
Yeah.
is the THMQ,
Yeah.
and
Me
it's
too.
it's steadily there.
Is
in
that
New
something
York.
you guys all do?
I always read it.
Really?
Always. Not that I believe it. And like,
But
oh my
every
gosh.
issue
I just
you
look for the
check it?
strawberry cough. That's my thing.
Yeah, of course
It's
you
like
do, yeah.
it's
And
the
I'm
thing.
looking-
Some people look for the Playboy bunnies on the cover of Playboy. I look for the strawberry cough and the THMQ. It's every time I'm on the lifer list, so I get it every month. And I rip open the plastic wrapper.
Go straight
One of the
to
first things I do is go to the THMQ and see if strawberry cough is on that month.
That's funny. Yeah, no, I mean it's and I can tell sometimes when it's it's too coincidental. It's like, oh, look, they're talking about my strain now in the trans high, but normally and then coincidentally I'm in the exact same issue. How's that for coincidence? You know what I mean? So I know there's definitely not 100% of those are like true. Somebody sent it in, but
Oh, I got to tell you too. I also, for my 5 years, I was a staff journalist there. I actually wrote. I was in charge of the Pot 100 column for a while, which is now back down to the Pot 40, where it originally was. But when I was in charge of it, for some reason they decided to liven it up and make it the Pot 100 for a couple of years
How
in
did
there.
you do it? I always wondered how you guys came up with those.
Well, I wrote them myself.
You just sat there and wrote
I
them.
didn't get 100 letters every month, and I would literally call all my friends, and I'd
What's
send
hot?
out
What's
emails.
cool?
I'd be like, "You got a shout out to your girlfriend you want to give me? You got a saying words of wisdom?" And I'd make up like cushisms and shit, and I'd write like 20 or 30 of them every month until they finally decided to go back to the Pot 40.
you're like, yeah, you're padding these up a little bit.
Oh, you could go back during those couple of years, and if you knew that now, you could go, "Oh yeah, we wrote that one."
Yeah, that's definitely his. Yeah. No, I can see that. I remember. So, what year did that start? Around 89 or something like that, or 88?
No, that was more like it was 99 to 2004 was my tenure there.
Oh yeah, but what was the? When did they stop that? When did they start that whole Pot 40? And
Probably, well, the Pot 40 has been part of the magazine since forever. Cosmo has been writing those cartoons for over 20 years, I believe.
Yeah, because I remember when I first moved, I thought it was like right when I moved to Amsterdam. It's kind of when those things were. That was like the hot new thing. It was around 88 or something like that. So I'm not sure.
It was literally mid 80s. It was before I started there, which was I first met High Times in around 89, and 90 is when Adam's Garden 1, 2, and 3 appeared in 90 and 91. My little attic gardens with the Purple Kush Northern Lights hash plant, the purple stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny. Someone actually had posted in our Facebook group about those old articles and had a question about that. And since you brought it up, now that reminded me. I got to look that up and ask you their question.
Oh, goody. I've just been, speaking of being in the right time at the right place, I'm just really fortunate for the people that I've met, and try to pass it on, pay it forward, and give a hand up to those who won't kick you in the teeth once they're up above you.
That's pretty much the name of the game. Yeah, he says, this is from Dean Rogers. He says, I remember reading an article in High Times back in the late 90s with Kyle, this is late 90s, this is way later, growing in 20-gallon tubs, no drainage holes, in an attic, like 5 feet standing room, I think.
Actually,
1,000-watt parabolic hoods, he says. Ask you
actually, those were 18-quart pails that you'd get from the dollar store, like you'd see at a car wash. They're throwing the sponges in and out of. And I used to move every 3 to 6 months upstate New York, New Jersey, because I'd get paranoid. Like, for example, I'd be growing in January, and there'd be 18 inches of snow on everybody else's roof but mine because I'm growing in the attic. And I'd come home and pull in the driveway, and there's no snow on my roof. And I'm like, we got to move when this one's done. And I'd be moving so often. And second brain fart of the show.
That's all right. You're allowed them.
Those are very common on this show.
Yeah.
They happen all the time.
So you were growing in these big buckets.
Oh, I was growing in the little pails, and I wouldn't put holes in the bottoms because I couldn't modify the places that I was in. I was just growing in bedrooms with either carpeting or wooden floors, and I learned very early on, right in the beginning, when I was literally learning how to grow, how to speak the language of the plant, as I like to say, how to water perfectly without overwatering or underwatering, without using any holes in the bottoms. And that was part of the story. It was pretty unique.
Yeah, I mean, you definitely can easily overwater in that situation, that's for sure.
It's not impossible, though. I mean,
no.
Tons of houseplants are living that way. And
it's hard.
If you look at those old articles, they have pictures of buds that are basically as long and as thick as my arm, which is not very thick, but they're like 24-inch colas that I was doing in these little pots.
Oh wow! How big were they?
They were like 4 feet tall,
really
4.5 feet tall, under parabolics, and
good old parabolics. Actually, I hung up a few parabolics the other day at my place. I was like, man, I am way back in time. I'm going back into the 90s now, just because I needed some light above because I'm literally doing drop down, early Canadian no hooded room right now. I'm like, we're going old school. And then my friend's like, I got a bunch of parabolics. I'm like, bring it. Let's make this room flashback.
Parabolics is really what got me into super cropping so hard and doing so much manipulation and breaking and bending, was that I was trying to create a stadium effect so that you could have the bulbs really low.
Yep.
Because most of the light is actually radiating out horizontally. Mm-hmm. So you try to get the hoods low, keep your rooms really nice and cool, and then you'd make these plants that were like candelabras, and that would have several like stadium row seating of buds. And
I love parabolics just for the you kind of see exactly where your footprint is. There's no question, you know what I mean? Whereas like when you're doing them in small hoods, it's kind of like a lot of like blending, you know what I mean? You're trying to blend the light from this one and this one. You don't get that like focus that you do. Like with a parabolic, you're pretty much like, that is my work area right there. I can see it, you know what I mean? And you get that donut effect where there's no light down right below the light. You know, you
Right.
get that. So you just pretty much skip that plant. There's no plant below it, and then work it like a donut shape around. I liked it a lot.
You know, a lot of people, I think, still to this day, maybe not a lot, but there's a fair amount of people, especially in the Great White North, that just don't even use any reflector. They just suspend the bulb.
That's what I'm doing
vertically.
right now. That's what I'm doing right now. It's fun. I actually like it because it's it runs cooler than you think. Everybody thinks,
Right.
oh my God, it's going to be so hot. And it's like, no, there's no trapping of the heat. The heat just goes straight up and out. And I've got those things sometimes, 6 inches from my plant, and I got the plant on. I put
They
the
will
plant,
rage like that.
and and then I just put them on Lazy Susans, and I just spin them around all the time so they never get burned, and it works. It's working good.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I used to spend an awful lot of time in my garden. Who has time now? I used to live the garden. That was my life, and I would foliar feed several times a day, and I would rotate the plants, and I would tuck leaves, and do whatever I could do to increase yield. That was my life, and it's it still is my life. It's just a different focus now.
Yeah, no, I always feel like if you go in, you got to come out of there. I've done something, you can't just go in and go, oh, everything's great, because there's never not work to be done, And
Farmer's work is never done.
and it's true. I mean, and you hope you did the right thing. And usually the worst is when you do it like super late at night and you think you're doing the great thing, and then you get up the next morning, you're like, I left the fucking light
did I
on. Like,
do?
oh my God! Like I just ruined my crop.
Or
And
the water. I thought
yeah.
I'd refill the reservoir, and now there's 4 inches of water, and my pots are floating like sailboats.
Yep, there's a lot. So, and it's like I always try to make sure I'm in there for a good amount of time, but I'm also trying not to like overdo it, because then sometimes you get into that can of worms. You just like start.
Don't work in your sleep.
No, and don't go in drunk. That's a bad move. That's a terrible move. I do that. I've done that a few times. Where you're just kind of a little too hammered and you're a little bit too physical on your plants. You're
Let's get rid of this.
yeah, making major corporate decisions at that moment is not a good idea either. I had a friend of mine.
Look, really, there hasn't been once in all your time on this earth that you've made one corporate decision drunk that you're proud of.
Yeah, probably. I'm sure that works too. But they, no, I had a friend of mine one time. It was classic. We went to his room in Amsterdam, and it was up in an attic, and it was a terrible grow room. It was like a big mess, and he was all drunk. And I remember him going, "I gotta go raise that light," and he went up to raise the light, and literally just like fell back into all his plants. The light came crashing down on top of him. I was just like, I couldn't stop laughing. I was like, what an idiot, dude. Like, what do you think? He's like up on a bucket trying to like do it, and then he just like slips. The bucket goes out from under him, crashes onto the plants, destroys everything in one shot. It was classic. So there's a good example of what not to do.
Strawberry.
We're back to strawberry?
No, people
Strawberry
are loving it, dude.
fields
Ratings are good.
forever.
Ratings are good. Hey, we're doing good, Kyle.
Keep
Kyle,
going,
we're doing
keep going.
good.
They're
We got
loving it.
stories. We got stories on top of stories.
Good. That's why I'm here, rating.
Exactly.
I thought I
you-
was very, very Jerry. No, what was my nickname in the beginning?
Strawberry Jerry.
No, Fruity
Fino.
Fino. Fruity Fino.
Oh, Fruity Fino, yeah.
Fruity, a.k.a. Fruity Fino.
Awesome.
Yeah. Well, if we put out Fruity Fino was going to be on the show, we might not have got as many listeners. But
Yeah.
we
Maybe you will next time.
yeah, exactly. Now that they know.
Now it's your code name.
It's how about it goes under my name and my picture in the Rogues Gallery?
Yeah, exactly.
What's that?
Fruity Fino.
Fruity Fino. When we do the Rogues Gallery edition, yeah, you'll come in as Fruity Fino for sure.
Okay.
And we'll probably do that one. We should probably do that one like we'll
Don't say it.
we'll
Don't
steal-
say it.
No, I was going to say we'll steal Half Church's concept, because then we'd have the whole
Rogues
bottom. We
Gallery
need
on
the
the
Rogues
bottom,
Gallery.
that one, yeah.
That we kind of need that format, So what do you got coming up, Kyle? You must have something. We have so many things on our list now.
Well,
It's
just
crazy.
got married. Hopefully,
I know.
like enjoying life a little bit.
Honeymoon's over. No, it's not.
Honeymoon hasn't begun yet, right, honey? We're looking at houses. We just had to turn down a house, trying to accommodate room for her son Alex to live with us, as well as our 2 wonderful dogs. And so we're trying to make sure that everybody's happy and everybody's comfortable. So we're taking a little time, and that is the major focus right now. Other than that,
Shows. You got some shows coming. You're going to be up at Emerald Cup.
I am going to be speaking up at Emerald Cup and enjoying the festivities up there.
I'll be up there too. I'll be there too. I'm doing a panel. You want to come hang out with my panel, breeding panel?
Absolutely.
All right, there you go. Added another one.
I love being.
Panels are fun. Panels are good. There's less pressure. You know?
I love watching that event grow too, as well.
I've never been. I'm super excited to go. I mean,
it was a little bit toothless when it first started up in the redwoods, and I say that with all due respect. Well, it was just a little bit, but it's really maturing, and I really like.
I'm in
watching
shock
it grow.
when I see how many strains they got. I mean, oh my god,
It's insane, the participation,
700
and
or
it's really a worthwhile event. And if you can be there, I suggest you go check it out. You'll be it's a really good cannabis enthusiast festival for sure.
Yeah.
Canenthusiast, as I like to say.
Yeah, see, you're a man of my
enthusiast after our own hearts.
Yeah, that's how we roll. My whole deal is if I can combine words, I'm doing it.
That's how Adam looks so good when he's over 40. He's saved
so much
words.
words. Yeah, I've wasted such less time than most people pulling out long-winded things. Just 2 words, bam, nail them together. That's it, done deal. That's how we.
Connoisseur.
I like that. So you'll be at the Emerald Cup.
I will, and then I've got a couple of Speakman engagements coming up. I should know the names of these events. Susie's gnashing her teeth.
Marijuana,
right now.
cannabis, something event, business, something. It's like I know I get confused too.
It's a mass can or a it is a Canna Expo.
Yeah.
We have one coming up in Denver pretty soon. It'd be cool if you go to kylekushman.com. You can definitely check on my events tab there. And, pay some love to kylekushman.com. We're right in the middle of a huge rebuild. I think everybody's going to like it. We're going more on the educational tip, and we're producing educational segments. So, check that out. And also check out veganmatrix.net as well if you want to learn something about my nutrient line.
Where can people find the podcast?
And talk about your podcast, too.
Oh, my podcast, please, is The Grow Show on CannabisRadio.com, which is also free. All the websites I just mentioned, of course, are free. Great Growers Forum on kylekushman.com, all free. Start your own threads and stuff. And I just finished a really fun grow show with Mark Richardson, aka Bubble Man. That's what put me in such a chillin' headset for this talk we had just now. And big ups to him, and bless up to the whole island of Jamaica for hosting such a wonderful Rastafari Roots Fest and my wedding, my nuptials. It was amazing.
Nice, full-rounded.
Yeah, full-rounded.
Thank you. I'm just feeling really, really thankful at the moment. And
it's an awesome time to be you, man. It really sounds like it, dude. Jamaica looked awesome. Obviously, you with your beautiful bride, you guys looked super excited, and
thank you.
We definitely wish you the best of luck. Like, live it up. Don't work too hard.
Hey, we're just looking forward to 2016, man, because it's time that we all get our due, and we means just everybody in the cannabis community. You know, we're still the last segment of society that it's legal to prejudice against, and what I mean is recreational drug users, whatever that may be, and I really believe that the legalization of cannabis is the first step in the ending of the drug war, and the beginning of the end of the drug war is a great time to be alive, and let's follow that through and not get complacent. And, just because we have legal cannabis in one state, let's make sure that anybody around the world who wants to use cannabis is not persecuted or prosecuted for it, and that's a worthwhile mission.
Nice.
Absolutely.
Nice one.
Right on, man. Well, if you happen to come across the letter with the story, that would be awesome, because that would help at least back up what Strawberry Jerry here is saying. So always feel free to reach out to us, Kyle.
That's great. I will definitely do that somewhere along the lines of cleaning out the old mess.
Yeah, if you're moving.
Cleaning out the old attic.
That's exactly when you end up.
I'm sure you'll find
you
that
and addicts.
many other things.
Uh-huh.
Many
yes,
other.
Let's do it again for sure.
Right on.
Sounds like a plan.
Very cool. Well, then, it sounds like I am out.
You're out of here.
Yeah, you're out of here.
I'm out of here, you guys.
Talk to you, man.
Thank you, Mitch.
Thank you,
Jerry.
Kyle.
And we'll get you guys to information for each other, so we'll get you guys linked up.
Yeah, and then
via
you
text
can
is the best way.
Yep.
Then you guys can kind of figure out some background details, maybe.
Yeah, cool. Awesome.
Peace, love, and rock and roll, you guys. It's been a blessing.
Later, man.
Thanks,
yeah,
man.
thank you very much for coming on, dude.
Thank you again. Peace out.
Peace.
So we still got Jerry Berry out here, right?
Yeah, Strawberry Jerry.
Hey.
Dude, so what were you saying? Someone asked about Motor Rebel. You're making Motor Rebel now?
Yeah, I guess I'm his newest breeder. Going to be doing some work with a lot of the Quebec seed bank stock that I have. I used to know. I haven't been talking to him in a few years. That's why I say I used to. I was really good friends at one time with Elaine from Quebec Seed Bank, and used to work with him. And was very lucky and fortunate to be friends with him. You know, I'm probably I know I'm the only person really outside of Quebec that was like kind of in that circle. I was really lucky to meet him and have him kind of take me in like that. And he just kind of, if he was around nowadays, and he would be doing a lot better, I think, with his seed sales. If he was to, he never really advertised, I think, to a market like outside of Quebec. I don't think he really cared. He had a lot of old Sativa Seed Club stuff that on his list. I mean, it was all French Canadian varieties, and Sativa Seed Club stuff. I mean, a lot of people just didn't know that it was there. I mean, you could go up there and just get. He was preserving all these lines like Hash Plant, Big Bud, Skunk One, Afghan One, Friesland Indica, which is the famous Friesland strain, which is the main strain. That was like his flagship. Super mold and cold resistant. Awesome in Quebec. Very fast flowering. He had the M39.
We were just talking about
nowadays
the M39.
Saw that list and kind of knew, holy shit, look at it, like Purple Star. I mean, everything was on there. And he had a lot of local crosses of a lot of that stuff too. And like I said, if it was around, if the Quebec Seed Bank was still open and people knew what because like he had Hash Plant on his list, it was called Quebec Hash Plant. He had the original 88, 89 catalog Big Bud, but it was called Quebec Big Bud, and people just kind of didn't either know about the bank. If they did, they saw that and didn't really.
Yeah, you didn't know it was original.
Did you go there, Adam?
No, and I was telling
because you didn't know it was original, right?
Well, no, but I was telling to Strawberry Jerry. I was telling him yesterday that I
Narsgaard.
I had issues with them. I think as far as like they had listed my seeds. They had bought seeds once, and then they had kind of like probably did exactly what he's doing, which is running lines, replicating himself, and then putting them on the market. So it was like I kind of was like questioning them a few times, like, "Hey guys, what's going on? You guys bought 10 packs of sage fucking 3 years ago, and you're still selling them. It doesn't really make sense, And
the problem was there is I think the most expensive seeds you could get at that time were like in Montreal. If you were to walk into a shop and buy seeds in Montreal, I mean, it was like $425 for a 10-pack of feminized Dutch Passion Blueberry.
Yeah,
so
that's
selling
what
the higher-end name seeds were harder because you'd walk in and see like his stuff was like you get a pack of Afghan for like $60, and just I think the education, the knowledge wasn't out there at the time too, and until overnight it was like a huge tsunami of information that kind of.
I think
people
also
are spending more money on seeds now. I think people know more about it.
Well, the funny thing is, back in the day, it wasn't like as many people buying seeds, but the people who were buying seeds were buying a shitload of seeds. Like there wasn't and a lot more than they are now. Like now, occasionally you get a guy who's really like, I need like this, who buys everything, collector style. But back in the day when I was working at Cincy, people rolled in on a regular and spent $10,000 on seeds. You know what I mean? Like that was their whole mission of their trip. They're going to come there, spend $10,000 on seeds, go back and be set for the next 5 years or whatever it was. And so. That's kind of where I saw my eyes were open to the whole seed market. Like, wow, these people are just they're on a mission. You know what I mean? They're not. That's the whole trip is based on those. The
markup in Montreal was just too high for all the other stuff that he was selling. It was like $425 for a 10-pack of blueberry. It was just like that's an investment, so it was like hard to move.
But I remember looking on the back of High Times and seeing like Ontario Seed Bank's prices, and they were always like back when I had Big Fatty, which was, and I was selling it for $60.
Big Pine and all that stuff, right?
And they were doing it for $180, and I was like, whoa, that's nuts. It's 3 times the price. You know what I mean?
Pine.
Yeah. So, I mean, like, I don't know. I mean, it's unfortunate too, because if people would have worked with us, if they worked, like if they buy 10 packs of seeds and they find a good pheno and they start running with it, and if they just would have let us keep sending them packs, they would have done a lot better, because in the end of the day, they got one out of 100, let's say, but that isn't really selecting. And I'm not, the packs that they're getting from me, once it's down to 10 seeds, that's, and half of them are male, your numbers are getting to the point where it's not a real proper breeding project, So
yeah.
But do you have your contact with these guys at all or no?
No, not anymore. It's years go by, and he was last time I talked to him, he was like 68 years old. So it was, 2012, I think. So,
he's on his retirement program.
He's retired, you know what I mean? He just doesn't.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna write him a letter probably pretty soon and see where he's at and see if he's around still, what's going on.
Yeah, do that.
There's a lot of stuff I wish I would have grabbed. I preserved the Friesland line, or the Friesland indica, and mold cold resistant really fast. I'm going to do a lot of crosses with that at first, and release those under Motor Rebel, and then have a lot of other stuff going on too. Working with a breeder out of Oregon and working with a lot of his stuff. So Blackberry Kush, and I think he's going to be doing some sugar plum, sending some sugar plum my way soon. So we get some Blackberry Kush going right now from Oregon, and going to cross that with the Friesland, kind of get that cushy, Friesland is like really, really, really piney. It's like just like the M39 too. Well, I'm going to hopefully.
Is it the other beasters?
Be bringing back the M39 also, because we have male-female stock of that.
I would think Friesland Indica.
Many people that have that, so.
I would think Friesland Indica would probably be another contender for being one of those beaster strains out there that
M39
really, because they both were.
Yeah, well, see, that's the thing. I would like to clear that up too. The beaster thing and the Friesland. See, those two things have almost. They kind of have something. They're clones that somebody selected. The M39 and the Friesland that are going around Canada are a specific clone that have been going around for a long time. They don't really. They're not like new selections that were done out of like Quebec seed bank stock. I mean, they were just, who knows? Like they were just some. I think they're sort of. The M39 has always grown like shit. So I mean, it's always either you get it wet or it's premature or it's like they keep the shit out of it or something, and there's always something wrong with it when you get it. I mean, it's commercially produced.
Well, so that's what we read earlier. Was
but it's an L5 skunk. I mean, it's a killer strain, and especially if you get M39 seed stock and you can really hunt through the seeds and get really killer stuff. I mean,
that's what beasters.
You're going to find something better than that shitty clone that's been going around.
No, everyone knows that beasters is not growing well.
That's going around right now is a cross from Smoke-a-Lot seeds. I think it's a Pluton. You can still get it. It's called like Friesland BX or something. So it's not pure Friesland.
I've seen that. Yeah,
I have. It's you're getting that Friesland clone that somebody selected a long time ago. I mean, who knows what it is? I mean, it's like.
And so, what do you have?
What I'm saying is, I did a selection of like out of 100 seeds, and I have like my Friesland cutting is insane good. I mean, it's so good. They definitely did like a sort of like an open air pollination or something, and preserved like the three. If you look at like World of Seeds or something like that, and like their Afghan Kush, you'll get like a highland pheno, and you'll get like a mid-level pheno, and you'll get like a lowland Afghan pheno, and and World of Seeds considers that the Afghan Kush sort of sativa pheno, I guess. It's still an indica, but it's a lowland pheno. It's a little bit taller. I think it's really mold resistant because down in the valleys are probably a little more wet and stuff like that. And I think that's what the Friesland is. I grew out 100 seeds originally, and at least like 60% of them were that textbook tall indica, a lot different from like an Afghan one. Afghan one's like real short cactus style, really hard to get it to stretch. But the Friesland, it had those three like highland, mid-level, and like lowland phenos. the lowland pheno seems to be the one that Sativa Sea Club was trying to breed, and because in their catalog description it says it's really tall, vigorous, fast, cold, mold resistant, all that stuff, and that seemed to be the main phenotype I got out of the Friesland lines. About 60% of those phenos were that lowland pheno. That's the one, I got perfect male-females out of that, and I'm on my own third generation Friesland, removed from Quebec Seed Bank, and it's just so good. It's so piney, lemony, mango-y. It's 100% indica, mold, cold resistant. You can pull cuttings down at like 42, 45 days, and it's got, I'm going to cross it to a few things like the blackberry kush. It's just got that, that blackberry kush crossed with that pine cushy flavor. It's just going to be a really good combination, and I'm going to put it together with really old pineapple kush that we have right now, and hopefully get a nice hybrid that has some really high pinene levels. I mean, that's one of the things I think you're looking for when you're trying to fight cancer is a high pinene level. And pineapple kush and Friesland. I mean, if you look up Friesland, you see there's like a Matt Myrna. I don't know if everybody knows who Matt Myrna is. Marijuana smoker's guy, but he did a little review of Friesland, and was happy to see that he thinks it's the pineiest strain there is. So that's kind of cool. But so I'm going to cross the my Friesland selection to the pineapple kush, and hopefully get a nice pineapple freeze and a really high pinene level strain, and get a bunch of other stuff we're going to cross it to too, so we can get it really. Gives you a good combination of indoor-outdoor capability too. Really fast flowering, does good indoor-outdoor. Makes a real versatile hybrid. So
Nice. We got a lot of work ahead of you. It sounds like.
Yeah, definitely, and I'm going to do some stuff. Excuse me, hold on a second. Plug my phone in. Going to do some stuff with the Oregon guy too, like the sugar plum and the blackberry kush, maybe. Cross it over to like some Williams Wonder that I have, and kind of maybe do some all Oregon crosses. That'd be kind of cool.
The sugar plum's definitely interesting.
We have we have M39 male female stock that we're going to be playing with eventually, and that'd be nice to put together. It's not just to throw out there cross. I mean, it's a good combination, of course. The M39 and the Williams Wonder would be
That's what you're
kind
looking
of cool
at.
to put those two old things together. Two old catalog strains, pretty sought after. That'd be pretty neat. So we're going to be, I don't really know of anybody that has any male-female M39 stock or Friesland indica, so we're going to be bringing back some Sativa Sea Club stuff. So
Nice.
that's what everybody's looking for.
Yeah, everyone's looking to go back to the building
Everybody's
blocks.
dreaming of. I mean, I still have my
Yeah,
old
for
catalog.
sure.
But you don't have any old seeds.
No.
No, of
No,
course
like I
not.
told you, and then the crazy part is after a couple episodes ago, finding out that I knew the guy who was fucking the main person from SSSC, but he was so secretive and Dutch, and he's just super Dutch about it. You know what I mean? Like he never told
Dutch.
anybody. Super Dutch.
Well,
Like,
you knew it all. You knew him all
I
along.
knew him all along. I was like, really?
Can you do a good?
Is this show like a weird revelation, like another view on your life?
Sometimes.
Just-
Yeah, sometimes.
it's-
Can you do a
that's
good
gonna be
Dutch
really
accent?
surreal.
Yes. 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 No.
Is that all you can say?
Yes. Yes. Yeah. They're. It's not a language you want to learn. Let me tell you that.
Man, he had I don't know if you ever got to check out Quebec Seed Bank Elaine's Cannabis Quebec. He had his own magazine and stuff. It was
No.
really, really cool too.
No, never seen.
So
Never seen.
it was in French, but
There's a reason. There's a reason I didn't read it.
Yeah. Now it all adds up.
But I think that's
Yeah.
also. I think that was also the big difference. So when you're in Quebec compared to the rest of Canada, they really have a separatist mentality. You know what I mean? So they don't give a
Yeah.
fuck. We don't give a fuck where your genetics come from. So I felt that the way I kind of felt from Ontario Seed Bank and Quebec Seed Bank was both. I kind of felt like they were either run by bikers or something. I just had this vibe like these guys definitely don't give a fuck. You know what I mean? They're just like
Yeah,
they
I
have-
got to talk to the Iron Seed Sales dude, Ron Hill. I was supposed to go to that Iron Seed Sales Cup with Elaine, but I never ended up going. He's like, "Oh, I'll call Ron Hill right now." He called him right in front of me. We did like a three-way call with Ron Hill, but I heard he shut down too. So
Really?
he's not around. Yeah, unfortunately. But they used to share stock and keep each other stocked. So him and Ron Hill. So. But
That-
yeah, I
that's
mean,
a whole
I
area
found
of-
that too. When you go up to Quebec, I found that they're very proud of their culture and stuff like that. But if you kind of put forth like a 1% effort to like kind of understand, like learn a little bit of French or anything like that, they're like, it's totally, they turn around. They're just like, oh my God, like they're so impressed that you're putting forth some sort of an effort to learn their culture, and they, you know, they just always seem to, you know, kind of like that, you know. So.
Cool.
Yeah, that's what I always found. But I loved going up there. It was always fun. He was definitely one of my mentors, and God, I was so lucky. And I asked him one day, I was like, hey, how many people have come up here from the U.S. and come in and shop? How many U.S. customers do you have? And he said, like, 3, you know, like 2 or 3.
Wow.
And it wasn't that many. Like, he said a couple of guys would just come up and just grab a couple of packs of seeds to...
I mean, it's like my other friend Mike. He
do some
went up to
outdoor
Emory
and stuff like that. They grab a
awesome.
couple packs of Afghan or Friesland and throw them outside, and there's just people that happen by the place. I mean, we just didn't really advertise too much.
What years was it open?
What's that?
What years was it operating?
What did he start? Like 97? I didn't meet him until I met his family actually when I first started going up there was when he was in jail for the Quebec Cannabis and Hashish Cup. He got arrested, and I guess they let the competition continue, but they arrested him for supplying all the attendees.
That's a great party.
Yeah. So when he was in jail, I went out for the first time, and I met his sister Jeanette, who passed away a few years ago, and yeah, I got a bunch of stuff from her the first time, and then I went up, you know, just after he got out of jail, and met him for the first time, and I think he was kind of taken back by, I asked him for his autograph, man. You know, I'm in the seed. It's just like, you know, it's my world, you know. It's kind of very neat for me to meet someone like that for the first time, and it's my passion and stuff like that. I think he was kind of, I don't think anybody has ever asked him for his autograph before, so, you know, I was kind of checking out his magazine. I was like, hey, are you going to autograph the front of it for me? And he was like, wow, are you kidding me? You know, do you want my autograph? You know? So then I kind of showed him, you know, that, you know, you don't meet people every day that, you know, I kind of showed him that I was serious and I was someone that was trustworthy and stuff like that. So
Sure.
we became friends. I didn't think I'd become friends with him, but you know, he ended up inviting me up, and used to go up and hang out with him all the time, and it was just very cool, you know. Very, very cool, you know. And then all kinds of stuff just keeps happening in my life. It just seems to be fate, you know. Sort of running into the Strawberry Fields family. And so I also wanted to mention, before I forget, I grew up back and forth my whole life between New England and South Florida. So I was kind of glad to see that you guys had mentioned the Crippy, because I kind of grew up smoking the Crippy too. So
I see. Did you see the people releasing or a clone? There's a clone of Crippy out there.
I know that there's someone supposedly doing a Crippy or a Crippy BX.
Crippy BX. I saw that. Yeah. the other
Yeah.
day.
yeah. I think my boss there, Mozart, has some Crippy seeds too that he's trying to preserve and work with. But
Yeah, I lived in Florida too.
It was whatever. It was the good. You know, there was 2 kinds of bud back then. It was Crippy or Crips and regulars.
Pretty much.
You know, that's what it's called in South Florida, and it was. We're always like, you know, is it? Because we'd always get something that was kind of similar, you know, and then everything was kind of called Crippy if it was good. But then you'd always get that similar bud every once in a while, and it was like, I wonder if it was based from one strain, and like, you know.
Yeah,
it kind of stemmed from one thing, you know.
We are also curious on that whole fact, and I was there because I was kind of there. Let's see, I left Florida in '87. I was there like 86, 87, 88, I guess, and then I moved in '89.
What part of Florida?
I was in Lauderdale, Fort Lauderdale.
Lauderdale. Cool. I was just above you in the Treasure Coast area.
Yeah, I lived on Las Olas down there, and I had like basically I was working on boats, you know, so I was working on sailboats. And but I'd always had to be the weed guy to all my guys because they were all English. All these guys were English dudes, and they all worked on the boats, and they all wanted to smoke weed. So I always ended up hooking them all up. And Florida was tough. It was like one of those places where it was hit and miss all the time. You know what I mean? I had one guy that was growing weed that worked as a bartender that I knew, when he harvested, I was always just moving all his product for him, you know. But for the most part, it was like I was kind of at the mercy, you know what I mean? Like I was smoking Jamaican, I smoked whatever I could when I was there, you know what I mean?
Always brickweed down there, the Mexican brickweed, of course.
If you have to have it, yeah, exactly. Well,
Yeah.
well, good. That's nice. Been nice talking to you. I think we're gonna wrap it up because we still got 40 minutes left in the show, but who knows what we'll end up with here. I will get you. I'll contact you after the show and get you and Kyle hooked up. Make that connection because that's sounds like you guys could
cool.
definitely work on some projects together down the future. You never know.
Yeah, it'd be cool to talk to him, definitely.
Nice. And hopefully we got a new
New little show buddy.
We got another person to get in touch with when we need him. You know.
Yeah, of course. That'd be awesome. You know, I'd like to keep you guys updated.
And if you get any more information,
if they happen to be listening and they're down to give more info,
like those years and stuff would help out a lot. You know what I mean? If you can get the idea, because it's so hard for even me to remember what years I did things, so I know how hard it is. But
then you stop and you think about it.
But if you can if they can go, I got, we had the kid in that year, and that was about a year before we did that, and they can kind of, if you get a couple of things, little details like that would kind of help us be able to, because the thing that I'm most curious that I want to see is there any connection between the Swiss and the American version? That's all. That's the big question in my head.
I want to know the name. Who put cough on the name?
Exactly.
Okay.
Because
we'll get some more answers. He said he was going to go over Grandpa's house and.
Nice. Yeah, we'll show him the show if you want.
And
sit back with Grandpa, let him listen to the show.
Yeah, let Grandpa listen to the show.
Yeah.
And then he can fill in the gaps, hopefully. Well,
totally, man. Well, I can't wait. That'd be awesome.
Thank you.
Cool, man.
Thank you.
Keep us posted. You know how to get a hold of us, and we'll be in touch, man.
Strawberry Jerry's.
Yeah.
Strawberry
Thanks so much
Jerry.
for having me on the show and giving me a new name, too.
Yeah, that's yours.
Hey,
run with that, bud.
Talk to you now. Peace, man.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Later.
Bye.
So, once again, more questions than answers.
And once again, we gave someone a nickname that I'm pretty sure is going to stick.
Oh, it's going to stick. He's done. That's him forever. Forever. The kid got his nickname, but not from us.
No, but I've stuck. I did. Brad is
Big
Brad.
Big dummy gave it.
There's another Ryan on board now. We're going to have to call you something. Maybe we'll call you the kid.
That's how it goes. That's how those names start.
Do we have audio of the first time that Adam told? Was that on air when Adam was like, "Yeah, they're calling him the kid now," and I was like, "Ooh, the kid."
No.
Oh, because I would love that.
It must have that. It must be there.
It wasn't on air, though.
You sure?
I'm positive.
Okay.
You had that conversation off air, and then it just kind of popped up, and I was like, oh, great.
Yeah.
So
and that was it. Then the kid was born.
Let's do a little housekeeping for friends of ours who are on Facebook. Over 100 of you have joined our new Facebook group that we started doing. Definitely lively discussion. Awesome shit, man. Posts of like Red Eye magazine from like the early 80s. All kinds of. Have you looked at it, Adam? Do you look at it?
A little bit. Once and twice.
Once and twice.
Once or twice, I've actually.
Well, you want it to be like the PFA where it's blowing up your phone all day?
No, because I've already turned that shit off.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm trying to.
I got that off.
Look, here's what's cool stuff. The people who are posting in here are awesome people, past guests of the show here. Kay's first article from Red Eye.
Awesome. That's awesome.
That's good. Pakistani hash from the Pakistan and Afghanistan from the mid-90s. It's pretty sweet.
Sweet.
All kinds of good shit. Here's a cool article on making CBD crystals.
Interesting.
It's a good little feed. I recommend it. Right on Facebook, you can sign up for it. Just search for Adam Dunn Show. Or go to facebook.com/groups/Adam Dunn Show.
A lot of slashing going on around there.
Slasher film.
Slash.
What else?
I don't know. Did we have somebody wanted to call in and talk about Sade?
Oh, yeah.
You need to give him the number, probably.
Our buddy who wants to call in.
So it's 720-310-8237. Yeah, exactly.
8237.
I guess somehow that number just messes with my mind.
That's because it's all jumbled.
It's those, I don't know, it's just something about it. Like, I can't get it down because the TADs just ruin my head. I can't, like, TADs. So, yeah, give us a call. We'll hopefully be able to.
That's our buddy Nelson.
That's Nelson?
Nelson.
Oh, cool.
You know Nelson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bring it.
Bring it, Nelson.
Bring the questions. So what else? Tell us, kid. What is going on over here? You've gone into like
Instagram. He's like, this chick doesn't have a shirt on.
If you can watch the kid's face in the last hour, he's gone through like the highs, the lows. He's crying. He's cringing. I don't know what the hell.
There's a whole universe in Instagram that we don't understand.
I don't care.
What recently brought me to the low was just this photo of some of this rosin.
Poopy rosin.
Poopy rosin photos.
But it's labeled.
Oh, there we go.
Call. Answer. Good.
Oh yeah, it's gross.
Welcome to the Adam Dunn Show. Who we got?
Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Nelson.
Hey,
Nelson, what's going on, bud?
What's happening?
Not too much. Hey, Adam. Hey, kid.
Hey, kid.
What's going on?
He even used the right word. He said kid. He didn't say the kid because you grown up.
Yes, I growed up.
What's going on? You got a question about sage, I think, right?
Yes, I do. So I've been interested in ordering some sage seeds.
Uh-huh.
I see a few sage grows around my area,
Uh-huh.
but I'm also hearing some things. Is the sage that's available in seed the same sage from back in the day, or is you got a new male plant you're using, or what's going on with the sage?
The sage, well, it's the same sage as it before, but the thing is that the mother of the sage, like the more hazy side of it, I mean, that's never been released as itself. It's always been released as an Afghan cross. So it's a 50. That's the whole point of sage in the beginning, was that it's a 50-50 hybrid, like a real balanced in between. And the thing is, it's about the selection. Sometimes you'll get guys like over here in Fort Collins, they grow what they call the Foco sage, and it's like heavy on the it's all Afghan side of the plant. Like whoever selected it went straight for the Afghan. That's what they like, and has very little what I would consider saginess in it at all, because it's the ones that lean heavier onto the mother side, to the sativa side of it, are going to bring out the flavor. Now, there's another one around which my friend, who basically gave me the seeds to begin with and started the whole thing, he recreated sage in a sense. It's actually like it's a kush. It's like a kushage almost, but it's Zeta sage, which you may have heard of. And the Zeta, when he recreated it, he made it way more sativa, way more like the mom, like it went literally to the point where that's if you're looking for that side of it, almost look for that clone if you can, that Zeta sage, because it's a great yielder. Its only thing about it is it's got that like the high doesn't last as long. Like it's kind of like it drops away quicker, but it's got that. It's all the flavor of the sage that I'm looking for. Like that is the sage side. So if you can find that.
All right, so it's Big Sur Holy.
Big Sur Holy, yeah, that's the sativa side of it all. Except the kid Mo who developed it with me, or he actually really, I would say, more or less developed the beginning sets part of it all. Then we helped kind of refine it, because he took my Afghan, we crossed it with his what we called sage together. He's from Big Sur, from the area there, from where it came from, and his brother is the one who supplied the seeds to us. Well, via not producing seeds on his own, just like he grew, and every year we collected whatever seed we got, and it was always like we only took the best weed he had, you know what I mean? We never took it, he only rated it by like a AAA standard, AA standard, or A, and so we'd be like, fuck that, AAA every time, you know what I mean? But he was growing outdoors, so he'd get occasional seeds here and there, and we just went to Amsterdam. When we were in Amsterdam together, we selected from, I think we had like about 200 seeds to begin with, and we just we did all inbreeding in the beginning, and then when we found that sagey particular one, we crossed that with an Afghan that I'd already selected from like a pure Afghan that we got from a guy who came in from Afghanistan with seeds.
All right, sounds good. Yeah, and actually, back to Jason King, the first time I was reading about your stage was in his Canon Bible.
Sure.
And I got really interested when I saw the Big Sur Holy Weed, because I heard that's got some Oaxacan in it.
Yeah.
And I got some old Oaxacan seeds that I've tried to crack, and I got a few left, but I've had no success with.
It's also got a Zacatecas purple in it too. That's the really interesting Mexican strain that never really got popular, But like the Oaxacan was very popular, but it's not a very easy plant to grow indoors on its own. It's super just like airy, and it has like literally it's almost like a Lester Grinspoon plant as far as the production side of it all. It's like you get like a huge cola, but you got a couple joints on it, you know what I mean? Like it's all just going through. So that's where, it was one of those spicy, it's got that awesome flavor, and I think that's where the spiciness of a lot of hazes is those strains that, we're all working with things we don't even know, a lot of us, like because we're just too young. I'm 47, and I'm still too young to know a lot of these strains. And then we got kids who are 25 that definitely have no clue of what guaranteed have never tried a real Colombian, or you know what I mean. And so that's where it's kind of, I mean, it's very interesting that to get any of those original land races and people who can get through the multiple generations they're going to have to grow to get to a point where they're even happy. Because that's the problem is, like, you know,
you talk about genetics being raw a lot, right?
Yeah.
Is that what you're talking about? What do you mean by that?
Well, I mean, like I feel like you'll get examples in there that might be interesting, but they're not complex yet. They haven't. There's no complexity.
There's like a note,
and there'll be something that's in there, and you'll be like, oh, and if you can zone in on that one, like a lot of the plants that I was growing back in the day that were coming from landrace stuff, they just had like cabbage looking plants that were growing. All these Afghans, I just went through thousands of seeds, and they would have like no flavor a lot of times because they were growing for hash. These guys didn't produce any flower for flower. They grew, everything was made for hash. So it's all like whatever's like hardy and produces resin, you know what I mean? That's pretty much what they're going for. So the flavors that you get, because we're trying to grow for flower, so it was like, you know, that's why you don't see any Moroccan strains out there. You don't see a lot of, like, the only hash strains that or hash places is Afghanistan and Nepal that you really see those notes, notes that are in there, and but they're not every time, you know. And that's like if you go to Nepal, they're all super sativa, tall sativa plants. They have a lot more flavor notes.
Sure.
Afghanistan, not really. It's mostly about just raw kind of production, you know. And that's what they're all about. You know? So the raw side is really like not complex.
Sure, doesn't have as many. Not terpy.
Not loud. Usually. Not too loud. No. But you get structure from them. You know what I mean? And you get the growth patterns, and you get and those things come out later after you've honed
the loud. I mean, obviously, you're saying that like the flavor in the sage comes from the Mexican.
Yeah,
well, the Big Sur, which is
it's all the Mexican stuff. It's not any from the Afghan. The Afghan was really selected for production, stability of like the plant.
Resin, right?
Resin weight, like just resin weight, and also like bringing it down from these crazy 120-day strains or 90-day strains that we were doing, and it was like, because those original sage, the original stuff that we had was, they were probably from like 1989, 1990. Those seeds, you know, they're about 10. They're about 10 years old or so, or 5 years old when we got them. Maybe.
Have you not smoked all episode?
I haven't smoked much. No, because I had some rosin earlier.
Okay, yeah, some rosin. Okay,
I had some rosin.
But I'm sitting here smoking. You're talking.
I know. I'm talking and you're smoking.
Okay, keep talking. Keep talking.
So I hope that answered that question, and let's see what else. What do we got? What do you got?
Well, that was good. I like talking your breeding theory. I like hearing about raw plants. That's cool. Feels like an old hood lap limo conversation.
Old limo conversation. Sounds good. Anything else on that question?
No, I mean, so you said it was the Zacatecas purple that influenced a lot of it?
Yeah, the Zacatecas purple is a lot of the flavor that you're getting in there.
Okay, because I've been to Zacatecas a few times, and they just have it growing wild everywhere, and it's not even a big deal, and I do see some color in there, but most of what I've seen just looks like hempy, tall sativa-like plants just growing everywhere.
Oh, I'm sure.
But where I'm from, in Durango, there's like a few, Indian reservations, and they still grow these phenomenal land-raised genetics where the buds are turning anything from magenta, pink, and purple and red, and blue calyxes, and they just have phenomenal flavors. They don't really sell it to you, but they'll give it to you. You just trade with them for anything, and it's never dry, I should say, so you got to dry it out yourself. That's the only downside, but
could be a good side. Could be a good side too, because they don't always treat it so great when they're drying it sometimes. But no, that's awesome, and Durango's got some great. I mean, that's where that's kind of the Humboldt of Mexico anyway, really, isn't it?
Yeah, there's a lot of acres there.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely. I mean, I had friends who had a farm there 10 or 12 years ago or something like that. But it definitely seemed like that was a pretty golden little area there.
Like, they completely skipped the bubble hash, and they went straight to BHO.
Yeah, because that's the guys that I was talking about was the guys that went down there to do all the bubble back in the day, you know. And then that was like a whole, mind blown for the people there. Like, wow, I didn't know we could do this, you know.
You just needed ice?
Yeah, which not the easiest thing.
Not the easiest thing to get in Mexico.
Sometimes, but yeah. And then I think obviously now they're definitely on point when it comes to what's hot here. And BHO for them is probably going to be a lot easier than regs because nobody really wants regs anymore.
Yeah. But you can make BHO out of regs.
Oh yeah, I mean if you get the plants down, and that's the problem is whenever they've been pressed in bricks and shipped and sent, by the time they get to wherever they get, I mean they're pretty dead. But if you get it when it's down there, it's beautiful material sometimes. I mean, and it's not like seeds haven't been traveling to Mexico for years,
Right.
Cool. Well, glad. Nice for the
thanks for calling in, Nelson.
And we'll talk
soon.
soon.
No problem, man. Thanks for answering.
Yeah,
anytime.
Man.
Talk soon.
Let us know if you get any of those crazy Indian reservation seeds.
Yeah, get us some of those beans. They sound good.
All right.
All right, man.
I'll work on it, man.
All right, right on, man.
Talk soon. Peace.
Thanks. All right, chat room wants to know that if they buy Adam Dunn Show Hoodlum shirts, will the whole cast sign them?
Of course.
Of course.
I don't know if the kid could physically get
in
it together.
crayon. I don't know if you can write on shirts in crayon.
Yeah. We'll try.
Wait, but does that mean you guys are never going to wash your shirts?
They're just going to put them on the wall, I would assume.
Why don't you buy the shirt and we'll sign like a piece of paper or something?
Ooh.
Like I don't know.
Certificate of authenticity.
No, we'll like print out I don't know. We'll get like a rig rag or something. I don't know.
Yeah, we'll figure something out.
We should do like a flag bandana and we can all
Flagdana.
Sorry.
Come on now.
Aging
you
so
wasting
fast
words
here. Oh.
Wasting words.
That's how I got gray around the edges.
Yeah, Flagdanas. Everyone gets one.
Shout outs?
Shout outs.
Yes, I'm tired. Shout outs to the inside of my
I thought you were leaving at 3.
I was going to, but then I realized if I went down, I'm not going to explain to you. It would just take me really long to get to Colorado Springs.
So your Instagram war is over?
What war? I
don't know. I thought you were having a war.
No more.
Oh, okay. I thought there was drama. I thought there was drama.
No.
Somebody's bad mouthing you.
No.
No?
No.
Not this week?
No.
Kid, you should promote to the Adam Dunn Show Facebook group.
Facebook. You don't have to combine letters like that. You should words.
Just words.
Yeah, not like. Yeah.
No. All day you've been speaking all fucked up.
I know, dude. It's
all
hard.
Day.
It's hard.
Anyway. Kyle says he's definitely going to dig for that thing. He's digging.
Yes,
keep digging for that letter. We doing shout-outs? Final
Can I
Shouty
get
dowdies
this to stand on top of this dabber?
Oh my god!
What?
What are you doing?
Probably not.
Are you a balancer now? You one of those guys?
Do you need Ritalin?
You definitely need something. You need some yerbas.
Yep.
Intravenous yerba.
No, that would be terrible.
Shout out.
Do you know how many Monster drinks he drinks?
How many Monster drinks?
He drinks like Monster coffee
I
drinks.
need the 2 Monster coffee. They're only because they were giving.
Nobody needs.
No.
That sentence is false.
You didn't let me finish because I was.
You don't have to finish.
No,
it's
I was going
false.
to change sentences. They were given to me. A case of those was given to me for.
You got a free case.
What
I
happened?
got a free
Everybody's
case of the Monster Java, so
everybody's
I put them
just.
in the fridge.
How'd you get them? How'd you get them?
From my friends in the band.
Your friends at Monster?
No, my friends in a band that are sponsored by Monster that gave me them because they don't like the coffee ones because they are pretty terrible. But it was free, so I drank them. Mm-hmm. But I need
you
2
took
of them.
The free shit off a tour bus.
I need 2 of them.
That's all right. That's nothing wrong with that.
Well, yeah, it's cased, sealed Monster. I need 2 of them to do what this does, at least, because I drink them real quick. And
what happens when you drink 2 of those? Because that's what you do at times.
Crazy, you're not good.
Are you turning into Big Dummy?
No, more like a Tim Allen.
Okay.
Home Improvement.
Yeah.
That might have been You probably were in Amsterdam for the entire length of Home Improvement. So
Thank
do you
God.
even know what I'm talking about?
Thank God. No, actually, people used to tell me I reminded them of him.
Tim
I was like, "Are you kidding me?" Like, and then I saw the guy. I was like, "How does this remind you of me?"
Wait, you don't know who Tim Allen is?
I know from afar, but I didn't watch the show.
But you know who Tim Allen is?
Do you know anyone on Dutch TV?
Nah, I don't care.
You don't know who fucking Tim Allen is? Are you high?
But
Have you ever seen the Santa Claus?
Watch this. You know who Steve Buscemi is, right?
Yeah.
You know who Christopher Walken is, right?
Yes, I like Christopher Walken,
right?
Of course.
But why would you not know who Tim Allen is? Like Tim Allen's the voice of Woody on Toy Story.
Yeah, I care about Toy Story.
Toy Story is one of the best movies ever made.
All right, kid.
Oh my God,
Wow.
Kid! Are all your favorite movies
Pixar?
No. I really enjoy Pixar movies. They're good, but that was actually Disney, and it pisses me off because every Toy Story movie, if they had just listened to Woody from the beginning, none of the bad shit would have happened.
So Woody.
Wait, have you ever seen Chinatown?
What do you mean?
I'm just talking about the best movies of all time. Have you ever seen Chinatown?
No, but I don't think that would be rated a best movie of all time.
Yeah, dude. Chinatown's
If
like...
you put 20 people in a room and asked all 20
All right,
of them
have
if
you
they knew
seen-
Toy
They all
Story
say
or
Star
Chinatown,
Wars, though.
I bet you they would all know that. They would all
have
know
you
Toy Story before
seen...
Chinatown.
Have you
Fuck is
seen...
Chinatown?
The fuck is Chinatown?
Coming to America? Trading Places?
Now that's a movie.
Those movies are
pretty much
great.
there's 80s comedies,
Yes.
and then there's not
Police
movies.
Academy.
Yeah.
I mean, good movies.
Police
dude.
Academy
Have you
was
seen Apocalypse Now?
I have.
actually
I'm
I
not
like
a fan.
Naked Gun.
It's-
I liked.
Apocalypse Now
I've seen it
actually
once.
technically may be the best movie ever.
Apocalypse Now is
Nowhere
awesome.
close to the best movie of ever. I mean, let's be realistic here.
It's a pretty good. It's a pretty epic
you
movie.
Have you seen? I mean, we're not we're not going to talk about movies.
No.
You're not a movie guy. It's okay.
I am. I just don't like Apocalypse Now. Is not the best movie ever made. That's
I mean,
ridiculous.
but it's like kind of.
Show me
pretty
the
epic.
box office figures.
It's pretty epic.
I mean, as much as I'm not, I like the
But
movie
box office,
Titanic, but Titanic would be one of the better movies ever made because it made like the
'Cause
most
think-
money in the
wait,
box
but
office.
that's not
ever.
about how much money
Hold
it
on.
makes.
The
Oh,
thing-
really?
No.
Oh, really?
No, it's not.
I don't know about
It's
that.
absolutely not about the
Oh,
money.
That's
that
why
one.
we're the best weed podcast ever. Because
I mean,
obviously,
it's not about the money.
I don't know about that one. when
No, it
comes to
isn't.
movies.
It is not.
Absolutely. Is
What
when it
about
comes to
music then?
movies.
Is that how it goes with music?
So it's how many record
No.
sales you have?
No,
But
that's
only
not
with
how it goes,
only with
because
movies.
Movies only
No,
make
stop.
money if you have ticket sales. So
Yeah, but that
And
only is-
music only makes money if you have CD sales.
bullshit. That's actually the least amount of money made in a music industry.
Well, they
is
can't
the
like
CD
take
sales.
they can't take a movie and go on tour with it. And
Right, that's what I mean. So they
so-
make mad fucking money, and Titanic made like mad millions of dollars. And
But here's
And I bet you
where,
Apocalypse Now
here's
made
where
like
there's a
5.
fallacy. Here's where there's a fallacy.
fallacy.
You pay for the movie before you see it, so then you don't know if it's good or bad. So
You
it's
read
not a
reviews,
reflection.
and you find critics that you agree with, and then you go see
but
what
you
they
don't
say.
know if it's good or bad.
No,
So
but
we
you
should
know.
look at the highest rated
No, but
critics
you know-
movies.
No, you read a bunch of critics movies or a bunch of critics reviews on one movie, and then you go to see it. Then you do the same thing with a couple other movies. Then you see what critics.
So what critics
like-
really love the Pixar?
No, listen. You said you love the dinosaur movie. Pixar
I just
makes
said
a
it.
good
I
picture.
said Pixar always makes you laugh and cry.
Yes,
I agree. No, Pixar makes a good movie.
makes
I
a
don't,
good
I don't
picture.
Yeah,
disagree.
they have 15,000. They have
So
15,000
Toy
guys making
Story
it.
is the best movie ever.
No,
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 it's not.
One of the best movie ever.
It's a great movie.
You said it was
It's
the
better than Apocalypse
It's
Now.
one of the best kid movies ever. Yes, the best
kid movies. I get
kid
it.
movies.
It's not
You're,
really
you're
a
now
kid movie,
the.
though.
well,
I
you
watched
are
that
the-
Tripping
and now
Balls,
that-
and it was
now that that's
crazy.
solved. Big shout out to Way to Grow, our number one sponsor.
They need
Since
to
the
make a
beginning.
Toy Story 4 about what happened to that sick kid Sid who saw all the fucking talking toys. How fucked up would you be if your parents' toys
All
just
right,
started talking to
relax,
you?
relax.
And you were like, holy shit, no one's going to believe me that these toys were just talking to me and made me blow shit up and commit this crazy crime.
What are you talking
That's
about?
what
blowing
happened to
shit up?
Sid. Sid, man, the neighbor that was blowing toys up and had all the creepy, crawly little ones in his room.
You're obviously an expert.
Dude, once you watch that movie on mushrooms, it's never the same. It's crazy, dude. They
Big,
should have
big
listened to Woody. Big shout outs to Way to Grow.
Big shouts to Woody.
They had Snickers in there the other day, and I was really happy about that.
Thank you.
Full
Kid
size?
update.
No,
No, they
really
would never
miniature
give you full
bite-sized.
size. Are you kidding me?
And they had Milky Ways, which are lame. Don't get those anymore because there's no peanuts. It's just chocolate and chocolate nougat. It's lame.
Yeah. It's just lame.
Fucking lame,
So for your
dude.
birthday, I should take you to a Pixar movie and get you a bunch of mini Snickers.
Milky Way or Hershey almonds. I don't like just plain like Baby Ruth is the best. But if you get a fucking Three Musketeers, it's boring as shit. It's just chocolate and nougat. Who the fuck wants that?
Do you like just a Hershey bar?
Yes, yeah, I'm cool with that because then it's not two things. It's just one thing. It is.
So
what
it has
is.
to be three things or never two.
So you know what else is good? So take fives because that's five things, and that's fucking
You like a whatchamacallit?
yeah. Which one?
Oh, well, I loved whatchamacallits.
but,
as a kid.
But no,
Not
Way to
now.
Grow. Don't get
Now I'm an
Milky
adult.
Ways anymore because they suck.
What? All right, thank you. So,
More Tootsie Pops.
back to Way to Grow.
But what you can get there is ceramic metal halide lighting.
Yeah, and I have crazy prices, which are going to pop up in a second. And you can also
I
get
haven't been
7
doing it.
locations.
Am I supposed to do
No,
that?
you're not. Doing,
Yeah, we know.
we know you're not doing nothing. And
Duly noted.
7 locations all over Colorado. Concentrate Corner at my favorite shop at 1051 South Platte River. 20,000 square foot shop. Everything you need there,
Including candy.
including candy, like multiple bowls. They have 4 bowls.
And there's that sale. It's the Sun System. Oh, it's up on my screen, not yours.
Merry and bright.
The Merry and Bright sale on the Sun System LECs. It's a good sale. Go in there. We didn't even mention the Adam Dunn Show code.
Oh yeah, Adam Dunn Show code always everywhere.
You get free candy if you say Adam Dunn Show.
Guaranteed.
But you can take second and third helpings because I just never stop. The entire time I'm in line, you eat the candy. Well, some people are respectful. They'll just take a piece when they
Not
leave.
like you.
No, I'll eat the entire time, and then as I leave, I'll take 2 or 3 pieces.
Yeah, you grab a few more.
That's my.
You know who I am? Adam Dunn Show. The Kid 710 is my code.
That's it. Use your Adam Dunn Show code at Way to Grow, and make sure you use it pretty much at any spot.
Have you seen that in the group?
What's that?
In the Facebook group?
People are using new codes?
Just everywhere.
Yeah.
People post screenshots of them trying it on sites.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome.
That's great. I love
tried
it.
it at the Burger King the other day, and they didn't.
They're like, no.
They were not having it. My sriracha burger was still full price. But
I tried.
You had to have a sriracha burger.
I'm going to try the Burger King downtown next time, and just maybe that one will work a little better. Maybe.
You just got to get them at the right time when they're not paying attention, which is all the time. So
Sorry, what'd you say that code was?
Don't
Yeah.
say it like
You have
that.
to say
You
it.
got to say it. You got to be like ADS
You got
420.
to rip open your shirt. You have to have the shirt
ADS
on.
420 code.
Yeah.
You guys
Come
got
on.
the AD. You guys do the ADS 420, right?
Yeah, it's how you say it, not what you say.
Ads.
Yeah.
Ads. Big shout out to Incredibles Edibles. They do the ADS 420.
Do they? Not really.
I don't know. I don't know.
They should.
I heard that's how John Doe Radio got that box of free Incredibles.
How did
They apparently do the JDR 420.
What? They're stealing our codes now?
No.
Damn. Well, they got, what? How many flavors, kid? 12, 15, 12, 13,
They
18?
cut it down just to mess with it.
There's 12 if you don't count like the firecracker, like the seasonal bars. Like the firecracker isn't on there, and that's 13. Technically, it's 12 again because the Afghato is 2 different flavors, but the same bar. The 100 milligram is
It's 2 different
white
flavors,
chocolate.
though.
They have an app now? What do they got? They got an app?
Yeah, the Incredibles app. If you text Incredibles to 20300, something happens.
Can you pull
Something
up?
happens.
Can you pull up? Can you pull up the Instagram feed for Incredible Extracts?
Oh man, that's good stuff.
I don't know if you guys are, for our IG listeners, check out Incredibles Extracts on Instagram.
What the fuck is this shit?
What is it? What?
I didn't know you could do that on the computer. I guess you can.
What, that you can look at Instagram on a computer?
Wow, that looks tasty.
Yeah.
Some tasty fire there. I had a few samples of some things the other day. There was sour OG, I think. It was amazing.
No, they do amazing work.
You know, when it comes to
Can you show their handle?
when it comes to
Boom.
incredible underscore extracts. When it comes to, Green Dot really started out here the whole 2 varying label things, but then Incredibles literally hopped on the market right after them and just killed it because
Their in-house stuff
is way better. I mean, if I go out looking for a black, any extracts, but specifically in-house grown stuff, I'm getting Incredibles every time. I mean, it's always clear, it's always stable, and it's always super tasty. Always, every time, no matter what strain you get. So definitely get your Incredible Extracts yellow and black label at pretty much almost every dispensary, I want to say, but not really, but damn near close to every dispensary.
You can
rec
find
and
out
med.
at IncrediblesColorado.com.
Yes, you can.
Big shout out also to Build the Soil. So what kind of dirt you getting, Adam? Are you going to do the Doit, the Dunn's Doit blend on Build the Soil?
Could do.
He
Oh,
does
that's
the
a
Coots
segment
blend.
right there.
Segway.
Dunn's Dirt.
Dunn's
Doit.
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 When I started,
Like Deutsch. Like
he didn't
Ronnie
want to
Deutsch.
get any soil sponsors at first because he wanted to do his own soil called Doit.
Doit.
And he didn't really know what he was going to put in it, but he thought,
Ah,
just
just
put Doit
something-
on a
Just
bag.
dig up their backyard and toss it in a bag and sell it to
Random.
people. They would buy it.
It's exactly what I said. It is Doit.
Doit. This is Doit. Ain't no
Hey.
false advertising. It's
Doit.
Doit.
I told you I'd given you Doit. I gave you Doit.
So Dunn's Doit
Dunn's
will be
Doit.
coming on Build a Soil soon.
Whoa, catastrophe.
If that was a liquid, it would be terrible, but luckily it's only weed, and I caught it all.
Nice job.
Big shout out to Dark Horse Genetics.
Was that it for Jeremy? That was it?
No, the
We
kid
didn't
just
do
hopped
Build a
along.
Soil yet.
Yeah, we didn't.
We're doing it. Kid just hopped along.
Kids going crazy.
I'm sorry.
Yerba mata.
That was my bad.
Yeah, Jeremy.
So you're going to get how much soil?
I need
Those
like
are-
about 4 big totes.
Big
Totes.
Yeah, 4 totes.
Nice. He can do totes.
I know. That's what I need because I want somebody to deliver that bitch.
He'll deliver that bitch.
Deliver that shit.
Totes, it'll come right to you.
That's the way we like
You'll
it.
have those totes.
Huh?
You can have those totes after.
No, they're $40 each usually. You pay $40 for those totes.
It is $40.
Hey, what's going on? Is this Morgan Freeman that's coming to the room? Has Morgan Freeman arrived?
No.
What? I think he has.
No.
It looks like he has. It sounds like he has.
Yeah.
He's here to do the Dark Horse ad.
No,
Yes.
Hold on,
That's what I heard. Jason just said. He said you need to
confirm with Dark Horse.
Don't come to work. He said if you don't do it. He said, you might as well not come in.
It sounds like Dark Horse is going to be Morgan Freeman is doing the Dark Horse ad.
Nope.
I heard it. It started. Come on.
Nope.
Come on, kid.
We'll have to see.
That's it.
We'll have to see when
Guess Dark Horse doesn't get any love today. Guess that's it.
Jason's going to be pissed.
Jason's gonna be ripped. He's
Not
ripping.
happening.
He's gonna. His whole shirt's gonna explode.
Nope.
No.
No.
You want me to do it badly then?
Okay.
If you do it badly, I'll do it.
No.
But it seems it's much harder than some like to make it think.
So I like to make it.
You can't make me laugh. You have to talk very, very deep with a raspy, slow voice. But you know what's never slow is a fresh pack of Dark Horse genetic seeds when put into some nice organic soil. Fruit grow. Real nice. You put it in with the builder soil.
Combine
and
it.
you combine.
Go to home. You go to where do you go to get all your gear?
You can go to Way to Grow.
Do the whole thing. Do all of it at once.
Will
grab some
help
Incredibles
you
on the
have
way and
all
munch
the
it.
gear that you need while you're
Yeah.
also consuming some Incredibles extracts. Maybe they're edibles per se. But Dark Horse Genetics, they have new hoodies for sale. They're a Hood Lamb collaboration. I can't do it anymore with him because it's like a fucking kid. I can't watch him and not rap.
All right, that was good. That was good. That was good.
Go to Dark Horse and get a Hood Lamb.
It's like riding a unicycle. It's only going to last for so long.
No, that was
you
good.
know?
That was
Got a
good.
Plot of Labs, Jaws.
It was actually a
gear,
good version too, because sometimes you
Monster
go too
seeds.
quick.
Yeah,
That was
it
good.
was
It
good.
nice and
It
slow.
was very relaxed.
Very
slow and laid back. I mean, the closer that
Yeah, that's
you
good.
get to
Got
the mic,
close.
it makes it a little easier to mask the sound of my regular voice. But that's all for Dark Horse Genetics. So
Okay, thank you very much, there, Morgan.
you're welcome.
Awesome job.
No,
Hey, what happened with that
you-
phone call you were supposed to
you
make?
awesome job.
What happened to that phone call you were supposed to make
You
for
made
us? You
it
never
awesome.
did it.
Oh, that radio station's not
Well,
around anymore.
They're gone?
It's gone.
Oh, they lost all their songs.
Well, and then they were gone from other
And then
stuff.
they were just
They
somebody
sold the
called
station.
me, my
Wow,
agent
that didn't
called
last.
and said, "Don't worry about that prank call you were supposed to do." The Adam Dunn show.
I mean, if you did that
thanks
prank
you
call, would have
greatly.
pretty much we would have got the credit for
Right.
ruining them. That would have
Right.
been
We
it.
would've-
But you didn't.
It would have been
Thanks.
Morgan Freeman, actually.
Thanks,
He would have
Morgan.
gotten the credit.
Wow, whatever.
all my roles.
That guy's
playing
sitting there
God
going
would
like,
be gone.
that guy's sitting there going, I sold my station. What if I had held out for Freeman to
could've
call me
waited.
I
back?
know. He thought that would have saved his ass. I'm sure. He'd be like,
He could have talked
Yeah.
to Morgan. Could have talked to Freeman himself.
Well, someone else will.
So Spring Hill Jack said he did a good job.
That was a good one.
Yeah, that was after he said you had a yerba mate crash because you were pretty much figured out like, wow.
Big shout out to Elite Cannabis and Mary's Nutritionals. Again, marysnutritionals.com. I'll say it the same way every time. People, if you're listening to this show, you're the cannabis expert in your circle. And people are going to ask you for advice on CBD, cannabis is healing. Random people, your mom's friend, your aunt's
Friend.
coworker,
or dog,
or your aunt,
Mom's
or
aunt's
dog,
friend.
or
Friend.
aunt's friend's dog.
or your cousin's dog.
There you go. Boom.
Yeah,
My dog has an email address.
Great.
awesome.
I think that was really necessary.
True story, dude. He's a dog model. Him and Freeman, they hit the road together. He can do
That's how you
flips.
can get. That's how you can
Yeah.
get Freeman on the phone so
Yeah.
quick.
I taught him German, and then the dog listens. I taught Freeman German. And then,
You taught Freeman German.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
we go way back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how you adopted his voice.
No, you can just pull him up on the phone.
No,
like
that's what I
that.
mean. I
It's
just call him.
Yeah.
and
He's
that's,
just like, yo, Morgie.
I hit
Morgie
him up
baby.
and
Just do the
say,
thing.
"I'm Freeman."
All right. Big shout out to Mary's Nutritionals. Again, you guys are obviously approached by people who are looking for information about cannabis for healing. just direct them there. marysnutritionals.com. They can get products that will work.
Will work.
It will work.
It will work.
Oh, that's, all three of us? Should we all say it at the same time? It will work.
It will work.
Well.
The conclusion of yet another splendid episode. I didn't fall asleep this time.
You
almost did.
You were too busy in your
I chilled
rapture.
out hard. There was about kid called me out on it. I was like chilling. Like,
He was really just lounged back listening when Kyle was talking, just
I was just
soaking
chilling.
it all in.
Soaking it in, brah.
Well, thanks to you guys for calling in, Kyle Cushman and Strawberry Jerry.
Strawberry Jerry.
Strawberry Jerry.
AKA, what was his other name? I keep forgetting it.
Narsgard.
Narsgard. There you go. Boom. So in case
Guess what, Narsgard?
You're now
Strawberry Jerry.
forever. Strawberry Jerry forever.
There's already a built-in following for it, whereas Narsgard, people are going to have trouble spelling. But
Yeah, I had a hard time remembering it.
Yep.
Is it Nar as in like GNAR?
Probably.
Like
Probably a G in there to really screw you up.
Yep.
Nar.
Probably.
Nar.
Strawberry Jerry. Kyle Cushman.
Nar.
We'll talk to you guys next week.
All right,
Kid's going to go
kid.
get into a fight on Instagram.
Kid, go get in a fight.
I'm not getting into fights.
So, well, shout-outs to our final.
Shout-outs,
Come
yeah.
on, our final
Dude.
shout-outs. Our final.
Final? Well, that's scary, Adam. What's going on?
Not the
after
final. I mean, the day. Final of the day.
this? Oh, okay.
See, wait, you want me to start or the kid? Kid, you got to start. You got all these
Shout
people.
out.
Shout outs to
Uncle
Nesquik,
Joey.
Mate, and Mitch for letting me smoke his weed all day. Shout outs to
This
my
is
wonderful
the
girlfriend Brittany
ADSI weed.
and the dogs. Oh my God, really? It's good, but it's old.
Keep
shout
it
outs
on that
to
freezer.
My wonderful girlfriend Brittany and the dogs upstairs, and my family.
They'll be released soon. Release the hounds.
Everybody at Dark Horse and AU, Tanner, Jason, Colin, who's getting back from goddamn Hawaii. Seeing him pissed.
Hawaii.
Yeah.
Hawaii. You said that in such a cool way.
No, and shouts to all the listeners.
Nobody gets to
thank
go
you
to
guys. We
Hawaii.
appreciate you guys tuning in every week. So
And the kid's ready to sign a T-shirt.
Oh,
Yes.
yes.
Kid will send you a shirtless
Here's
picture
the other
of
thing too.
himself
You know what?
signed.
Oh, yeah.
I meant to add this. I'm going to the post office right after this. I know I sound like a terrible person, but I have 2 boxes that I've had in my car for over a month now that have T-shirts in them, and I just can't find the addresses anywhere. If you were supposed to receive
Everybody's-
an Adam Dunn
No,
Show
don't do
T-shirt,
this
That doesn't work
no,
like that.
listen. If you were supposed to
Don't do this
receive an
shit.
Adam Dunn Show T-shirt,
Everybody's going to. We get 3,000 people just.
that's true.
contact.
But no, but there was 2
That's true.
people
No.
that were supposed to receive.
Go
the shirt.
listen to the show yourself. Figure it out.
That's why no one gets their shit sometimes.
I'll listen to the show and I'll figure out who got the T-shirts, and then I'll get your address. Otherwise, if you know that it's you, just actually fuck it. First 2 people that email me, I'll just write their addresses on the post office
And where should they email you?
man.
at Ryan@extractedcolorado.com.
What, did you not yell at me last week for giving out your business address on the show?
No, you told them my house. You told them my address.
No, I didn't.
Yes, you did.
No, I didn't.
You did. We did. It happened. I
It
think
happened.
somewhere along the
It
line.
happened.
But email me your
What is
address.
outside your
and I'll
house?
get To what?
Outside your address.
Oh, it's a bunch of new appliances for all those new
Free
houses.
appliances.
Free, yeah, you take 'em.
Free.
Free appliances.
Keyword free.
So what are your shouts, Mitch?
What are your shouts, Adam?
My shout-outs. Shout out to my beautiful wife, Cece, who is on her way to Lions to your Double D
Accounting.
accounting. What a name.
Shout out to Double D Accounting.
Double D
I need to
accounting.
go there too. Is it good stuff?
Well, she's there
Diane?
with Nick.
Yeah. Hold
we're
on,
going-
she doesn't. She actually needs to do my taxes if we're going to.
We're taking up all. So
the
we're on our
show.
way to do our taxes and stuff and all this fun stuff. But so shout out to Cece. Hope she's making it there on her own. She had to figure it out.
Just up the road.
I
It's
know,
good.
but she had to figure it out. Tough. Shout out to Ace down at the farm, Anthony.
Shout out to Corn Patties.
Corn patties all day. Corn patties.
You want to just
Shout
do
out
that? You want us to do it your
Cyber
Mate
Turkey?
style, where we just do a spot for them and then send it to them.
I just
Look,
sit here
we're
and
doing
eat
this on
corn
the
all
show.
day during the show.
No, just do it out. Do a 30-second for them.
Yeah, corn. Great. Corn, by the way, not corn.
Corn.
Q-U.
Yeah, how's it pronounced?
Corn. Yeah, corn.
Have you ever called them?
No.
They're in England. Let's
I
call
know.
them.
Let's give them a call. No,
I'll put some Skype credit on.
I'll
the thing.
I have to start my cyber turkeys. Shout out to cyber turkeys.
Shout out to Cyber Turkey.
Cyber turkeys all over the place. Just shout out to everybody. Damn, I got too many people. Can't start. Keep it easy. Moms and wives and kids. That's it.
You got to keep it close.
Keep it close.
Of course, I have to give shout out to my beautiful wife Reese and little baby Farron. Actually, big toddler Farron. They're both sick, so I'm gonna go home and make them soup.
Why would you
And shout out to everybody in the chat room for
bring
keeping it real.
here?
I didn't bring sickness here. I'm not sick. They're sick.
He's
I
transferring.
showered when you like.
He's transferring sickness. Just don't put his fingers in your mouth. How's that?
Yeah. Like, why would you get sick from your being here, kid?
All right, everybody. We'll see you guys next week.
Or not, because it's our final shout-outs.
Oh, yeah, final shout-outs forever. No, we're never coming back. Sorry, guys. No, we'll be back. We will be back.
Maybe.
Peace.
Maybe.